see or hear no evil.
Yeah,
Black
like
writing on the wall, unleashed a million faces, and one by one they fall. Black-hearted evil, brave-hearted hero. I am all I am, all I am. I am. Here we go, buddy. Here we go. Here we go, buddy. Here we go. Go ahead and try to see through me. Do it if you dare. Dare. One step forward, two steps back. I'm here. Do it. Do it. This is your fault. If I destroyed Eggman Windmill Village, none of this would be happening.
Some creep called Starlin made him evil again. Nobody could have seen that coming.
Excuses.
No, I'm dealing with it too. I'm infected, see? Oh my god.
I'm not gonna lie, that fucking line fucking pisses me off. It's what you deserve. Fuck you!
I heard you fucking slam something.
That was my water bottle. I fucking chucked it across my room. Oh, they're biting. Okay. They're into that stuff.
Biting? I could taste the day. Save the night, save the night.
I'll be the one to care for and night.
Do you dare to fight? Fight evil's might, evil's might.
I'll be the last one standing in a flash
My eyes
are filled with curiosity.
You think
that you have power over me in this life? There's no room for you and me. So turn away, or face this day with me. With me, face the day with me. Oh, there we go. Oh shit, we brought up Mike Tyson! We brought up Mike Tyson, she bit his ear off! I put my... Take that, I put the ear! Did you see his body fucking fly? Just, Oh, hello. That's a big-ass rat. Holy shit. Did you see how big that rat was? Oh my goodness. Got a splinter from the Ninja Turtles going on here.
So it's Best Actor.
Best Actor? Okay. Who are our nominees?
Okay, Best Actor. We got, Brendan Fraser.
Come on!
Bill Nye, Colin Farrell, and Paul Mescal. One guy. Come on, Brendan.
Come on!
And Austin Butler.
Oh,
Yeah,
Austin Butler
yeah.
too. They're all pretty good choices. What route are we doing? We pretty much did all the main routes. So right now we're just trying to fill up all the squares, and then we're gonna fill up all those circles. So right now we're doing 2 neutral missions, and then the third mission we're gonna do evil to get that last square. Brendan Fraser won, Chelsea.
Oh,
Wow.
No.
Wait.
Wait.
Let me confirm.
Confirm.
Because I think I'm a bit like
Behind.
from Chelsea.
Okay.
But wait, let me just make sure.
Sure. Oh my gosh. Not yet. Damn it, Chelsea! Don't get my hopes up like that. Chelsea, I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh. Chelsea, please don't get my hopes up like that. I was like, I was so, oh my gosh, I was ready to like jump out of my seat. I was like, oh,
And the Oscar goes to
come on, come on.
Brendan Fraser.
Yes!
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I'm so happy for my man. I'm so happy for him. I'm so happy for him. Fucking W, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. He needs that W. Oh, yes. Oh. Oh my gosh, we gotta shoot down the helicopter now? Are you shitting me? Oh my god! This is... Holy shit!
This is insane.
What the hell? Hold on. Should I push her or should I pull her
Yeah.
back? Push her.
Yeah, you should push her. I mean, that kills her, but yeah.
What? 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 No!
But it's okay for him to just break my stuff.
Of course not.
Wow, Meredith,
He's
you're looking
learned his lesson
looking actually
now.
okay. You don't have brain cancer.
You gave me this for my birthday. I mean, you should be pissed off too.
Oh, never mind.
What's wrong, but you don't just go punching every person who makes you mad.
There's the best fucking timing.
3 grades above you. I mean, that kid practically
Volker, make sure that your statements are not so embarrassingly carelessly worded next time. What? What? You're so disrespectful. Amazing. All delinquents types like this, even the way you dress so flip-flop disregard for authority. Sweater fest, disgraceful. Delinquent? I'm on the student council. Motherfucker, I'm on the student council. You think that fucking, you think, oh, look, what about you, huh? We have a fucking Hawaiian shirt. Oh, look at me, I got a fucking Hawaiian shirt. How professional. I got a big fucking katana carrying around, swinging around. Hi-ya, hi-ya. You call that professional, motherfucker? You call yourself a businessman? Look at you, fucking dressed up all casual like that bitch-ass motherfucker. Get the fuck out of here. Why don't you get a fucking haircut? Shave that fucking beard of yours, you bitch-ass. Get some glasses for crying out loud. Oh, look at me, I'm Jagoro. I'm like a JoJo character. Hi-ya, hi-ya. Yeah. A hand pounds on my back a hard couple times, severely winding me. I couldn't care less about the culprit as I focused my thoughts on my chest in near automatic reaction. My hand instantly tightens on my breast, and I start going through the steps I rehearse in my mind every other day. Breathe in and out. For a measure of relief, I can slowly feel my chest becoming less tense. By the time I look up, my face is covered in sweat from the experience. No! No! Not only did he cause a heart attack, but it's also... No! Well, you see,
Man, that impression of Shia LaBeouf in college is fantastic.
Oh god, you know what? I gotta look up now real quick. His fucking freak out in Dark of the Moon. You know what I'm talking? You know when he's in the car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh, that guy's just. Look at this guy. He's just. he's just hanging there. Look at this. This guy's just hanging here.
It can allow them to stay on the map, but these are dumb as shit, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, that guy was just fucking hanging there. Come on.
As every he punches in the boss's head. Family.
That's right. Yeah, come on. Bitch. The power of family. Yes, come on. Power of family. Okay, there we go. Come on, that's it. Power of family, baby. Okay, how do I do this? Hiya! Oh, her frontal lobe. Oh,
Oh wow, it's Grand Theft Auto 5 in here. Like,
oh, eat it!
Is Spider-Man 2 gonna have free-form switching characters?
Yeah, there we go. We did it. We beat the game. Power of family. That's the power of family for you. Don't keep me in the dark this long, man.
Well, he's got. You gotta make sure you.
Just a quick reminder that I do have stream elements. There's a $50 monthly goal. You can tip, donate, etc., whatever you want to call it. You do not have to if you don't want to. Alrighty, here we go. We are unmuted now. Whole cast is here except Nick. That bastard. Ooh. I didn't get a chance to eat dinner, so I'm eating dinner right now. It's a microwave burrito. It blew up during the microwave, so I have to eat it on a plate with a fork and knife.
What type of burrito?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. So it's I'm looking at the book synopsis right now. The plot was involving stealing space satellite networks, but I remember as part of the plot point, mind control ice cream was a thing.
Mind control ice cream. Hello, Ray.
Brainwashing through ice cream. Oh yes. So NORAD personnel are supplied with ice cream contaminated with a myonacardic, which makes consumers susceptible to following orders without question.
Huh.
And Bond was captured and brainwashed with the ice cream to think he's an American general.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Book Bond plots can be hilarious.
I think it's like a steak burrito now. Yeah, some kind of steak burrito. I don't know. It's
Like
a microwave burrito.
Like there's one called Win, Lose or Die, where Bond ends up saving George W. Bush, Margaret Thatcher, and Mikhail Gorbachev all at one place.
Because of Bond, Mr. Reagan was able to go, Mr. Gorbachev, tear this wall down.
No, it's George H.W. Bush. It was afterwards.
Oh. Yeah, but it'd be funnier though, if it was before.
So Bond is the reason we have new taxes? Unbelievable.
Damn it,
Yes.
Bond! Are you the reason why we went to war with the Middle East? Man, Bond.
Damn it, Bond! I thought we fucking declared we fucking fought a war to stop the British from interfering with our taxes.
Damn British! I swear, you can't rely on them anymore. Oh my goodness.
So you didn't put to sleep.
I love Changiz's I love his gutsiness. He grabs a burrito. He doesn't know what's in it. And he just nukes it. And he's like, it'll be edible.
Hey, it's a microwave burrito. I like burritos, so I'll nuke it. Oh, it's nothing special, but yeah, it's edible. Oh. So there is that. I have to ask Ninja, what's like the wackiest a Bond plot's ever gotten?
Oh, mind control ice cream is pretty high.
It has to be from the Moore era.
Have they taught that?
It's either the Moore era or.
Well, the Moore era is probably most likely because it's such a long period and it was during the 70s and 80s. So.
Die Another Day is probably up there too. Maybe not.
Yeah, Die Another Day is probably, in terms of films, it's the most wacky.
I want to see
was
that movie
insane.
again.
Come on, you have Bond going into a palace that is made out of complete ice, and then you have the main villain was a North Korean general who did gene therapy to become a white man.
I fucking love that movie. I love that movie so much.
So I think that's pretty high. There's one where Bond has to save Princess Diana and her son as well in Disney World.
Oh. What's the villain doing in Disney World? What do they want with the mouse?
He wanted to kill Princess Diana and the kid. It just so happened to take place in Disney World.
Where was Bond when Princess Di got?
He was behind the gun. He was sent out by the Queen to kill her.
God bless
To shoot the car.
God bless the Queen. Wherever she is now.
I know there was one where Bond went in, quote unquote, went insane and against MI6 and retires and became a computer programmer.
Huh? That's pretty funny. Ooh, excuse me. Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, it's he was sacked from MI6 to go undercover and hired by Spectre. And did a whole bunch of computer stuff.
That's beautiful. That's amazing.
Spectre didn't realize that it's James Bond. I don't know.
What is your name? What's your name, you recruit? James. Jimmy.
So, another funny plot point is from the License to Kill novelization. It's funny because it takes place in the similar continuity as the books. In the books, Felix Leiter was already maimed by a shark and had a wooden leg and stuff. And guess what happens?
What? What happened?
Sharks again! The same thing!
I want sharks with lasers attached to them. Ooh.
He got maimed by a shark!
But did But did it have lasers on them?
No.
Oh man. See, that's why Austin Powers is better. They had lasers attached to the sharks. Well, I mean, they would, if they could afford the lasers.
Thank you, Austin Powers, for ruining Bond.
Oh, hey, don't say that, man. I love Austin. I love Austin Powers.
I don't think Austin ruined Bond. I think the people who watch Austin Powers ruined Bond.
Namely the producers of the Bond movies.
So, I've been watching Mortal Kombat 1. You know who should be in Mortal Kombat, Najado?
Who should be in Mortal Kombat?
John Connor.
John Connor?
No. That would just go with Terminator Connor.
No, that's when they did the whole multiverse clash.
Yes, I get the... No.
Wait, Mortal Kombat 1 is multiverse? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because of 11. So, in short, 11 is okay, here's the problem. So when Mortal Kombat was originally under Midway. And when Midway broke after Armageddon and technically after Mortal Kombat versus DC, which is a Mortal Kombat game, a full number. It was Mortal Kombat 8. The team at Midway that made the Mortal Kombat games was bought under WB, and they became NRS Studios.
Good old Warner Brothers.
And they made and they decided to do a reboot to establish under their new regime.
Uh-huh.
But instead of doing a full-on reboot, they did a in-universe reboot, and they decided that Raiden used a form of time travel by sending visions of the events of the original timeline to the past to his past self, so that he could correct the timeline. They kind of did some stuff, but then it came back to bite him in Mortal Kombat 11, where it's revealed that, ooh, there was a goddess of time!
Just a goddess of time.
Yes, a titan of time, higher than a god, who's like the mother of like the main death god and elder god. And she wanted to reset the time again so that she could make a perfect timeline where good and evil are perfectly balanced as everything should be.
As everything should be.
And it was done from there.
Uh-huh.
Mortal Kombat 11, everyone hated it. Almost everyone hates that game and that story.
Alright, here we go. We should be reconnected now. What the hey happened? Oh my goodness. I swear. I don't understand what's going on anymore.
One second.
Oh, baby alert.
It's out of like other dumb James Bond plot lines from the games.
Huh.
From the PS2 games. Agent Under Fire is about cloning.
Okay.
Oh?
Yes.
Hey. And Everything or Nothing is about drones and also assaulting. You have to save Russia by destroying giant drones in tanks that cause mass destruction. Ridiculous levels.
Huh. Alright. We are back, Ray. Yes, we are back. I don't know what happened there. OBS just decided, let's just freeze
No, wait,
up.
I think Everything or Nothing is about nanites.
Nanomachines. It all comes back to nanomachines.
Sun,
exactly. It all comes back to it.
they harder in response to physical trauma. You
can't hurt me, Jack.
Look, with us, it all goes back to Gundam or Warhammer.
Or Metal Gear.
Metal Gear. Nanomachines, son.
You know, like I still want to try Calorie Mate.
Alright, so we are back now, and I'm gonna pray to the Lord Almighty that OBS doesn't decide to crash again. That was fucking weird. I don't understand what happened there, but alright. Alright, so, hello, it's the new podcast, and we got a special guest, Mr. Greebles, so... I guess, Mr. Greebles, if you're here, introduce yourself a bit.
Yeah, I go by Mr. Greebles. I am, well, I guess I am now one of the main mods over at the Tau 40,000 Discord, which has gotten pretty big over the last couple years. and now I do. I have my own podcast, which of course is called Podcast with an E, and it's a Tau-centric kind of like a lore oriented just podcast. We do some gaming and we do some events and stuff like that. But yeah, I am in the real world. I'm predominantly a filmmaker, and for the last 5 years, I've done a lot of animation.
Nice.
Which includes a bunch of stuff for Games Workshop, Angels of Death. A lot of developmental stuff, and probably most noticeably the Exodite, which originally started as a fan project that got picked up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Question.
I do have a question.
Wasn't it supposed to be Eldar based originally?
Yes, it was.
Okay, my question is how much people in your side of like the Tau fandom are Farsight fans?
I don't know how much you guys ever get into it. I'm assuming it's quite a lot. But I am a Farsight fan. I just think that most people don't know who Farsight is because his lore gets mixed up with a lot of the more recent books. I'm going to say recent. It's been like 10 years. But I actually like the alternative to Phil Kelly authors that have written about Farsight. I think that they're much more interesting. So I'm a fan of that Farsight. And probably anybody that has to suffer through my diatribes on my podcast, I think slowly but surely I've made more people realize that he's not the 40K universe's only good guy, which I don't know how that's something that got picked up on. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Farsight fans. I mean, it's like one of the fastest selling independent characters in recent history. And it's an awesome model, no doubt.
Nice.
Yeah.
So how'd you and our man Mr. Comet here get associated?
I think it's been through. Has it just always been? I mean, I'm assuming it was during COVID, right? Back when we were all just on Discord trying to make it through a day.
Yeah, I just found the Discord, the server by. Honestly, I don't remember.
Huh.
Yeah,
I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, Black Comet's always been a big. He's a longtime supporter, and I've always appreciated. Whenever I do this thing where I ask if anybody wants to, talk or any kind of engagement, which normally people would prefer to just do everything via text. Black Comet's always been a volunteer, and I really appreciate that about him.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. So is this server like public? Like, and can anyone join?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, anybody can join. I actually really, over the years, I've just become a bigger and bigger, kind of part of the event managing and stuff like that. And as a result, eventually the original owners, kind of let me kind of take the lead, at least in terms of Discord, of being able to manage things. And I have to say that I've always really enjoyed how our Discord seems to not be your typical 40K or Reddit forum in terms of its general attitude toward newcomers or just basically everybody's just really good to each other. So I think of it as, you don't necessarily have to be into Tau. I think you can just be, into nerding out, and it's pretty much it's like a safe space, and all of the moderators really do a good job of making sure that we don't lose our kind of the spirit of why we all got involved. And it's grown. I think it's 1,900. Yeah, it's 1,900 members now. So,
wow. Nice.
Yeah.
If you want, do you have a link to it so I can put in the chat?
Yeah, of course. Here I can. Let me put one together.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, it's a good spot. We're in the middle of September, so it's in the thick of it, if you will. We've got a painting contest going on called the Fist of Monka, and if you've ever heard of Piper, she has created this. She's created this very unique like crisis suit fist. That we spray paint gold and we're in our second year. I put the link in the chat. But yeah, no, she's fantastic. Her work is excellent. We're big supporters of her 3D printing artistry. But yeah. Oh, sorry.
Nice.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say I was saying she made good models. I bought her model.
Yeah, she makes really good stuff. But yeah, we've got the Fist of Monka going on with some prizes, and then we've also got a kind of community writing going on where we're starting to create a league of our an archive of our own, which is for fan lore writing and fan fiction. And we've got a kind of leaderboard challenge going on right now where you can play on Tabletop Simulator. So yeah, it's a pretty big part of it's become a pretty big pastime of mine, doing stuff with the Discord where it used to just be for the sake of community.
Nice. Well, that's really cool, man.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. So Mr. Greeble will be guest starring with us tonight when we get to talk about, Warhammer, because that's his specialty. So there we go. Now we do have an order of lineup of topics we go through with our show. So we will be getting to Warhammer, but we do have some stuff to talk about first. So with that said, why don't we just get going? Let's march through this podcast. So Njado. Mr. Njaro, you are up. Njaro?
Yes, I'm here.
All right.
Okay. So, I am talking about Haunting in Venus. I saw this weekend, which is the newest film by Kenneth Branagh adapting Agatha Christie mysteries about Hercule Poirot. And this one is based on Halloween Party. Which is a story about Hercule Poirot investigating a murder of a teenage girl that happened during a Halloween party because she claimed that she has seen a murder years ago. And this one takes place in Venice after 2 years after World War II. And Hercule Poirot has long since retired, and he was invited to a seance that took place after a Halloween party, and the psychic played by Michelle Yeoh did a psychic and claiming to have seen a murder, and then she gets murdered by being pushed off a ledge and her body landing on top, a hand piercing through her body of a statue. A hand of a statue.
Oh, man.
Through her torso.
Man, what? Michelle Yeoh, no. That's a shame.
Man,
a couple minutes after Hercule Poirot had an attempt on his life by being drowned in a water basin meant for bobbing apples, much like in the book. So clearly, based on that description, it is inspired by the book. The difference is that based on means like more of an adaptation.
Right.
While inspired is like we're taking like the bones of the story and we're applying it to a completely different context.
Man, that's a shame, though. I thought Michelle Yeoh would last longer.
I thought too, because based on the book, but nope. They did a lot of changing around. For one thing, no teenage girls getting murdered.
Okay.
So the murder you find out is about. I'm talking about setup. It's a detective story, so the only things I'm going to be spoiling is the stuff at the beginning, like the setup for the case. Not further evidence. So it's about the murder specifically that caused the initial murder, which is about a woman who drowned a year before the story takes place.
Okay.
And people thought it was a suicide. People thought it was a suicide.
But
But
not.
of course, it's revealed to be a murder of sorts.
All right.
I will not tell you why.
Isn't this the third in a series, right?
Yes.
Yes.
It's the third that Kenneth Branagh have done it. So my previous experience, the first movie I saw in theaters was Death in the Nile,
I am so
which
sorry.
was the second one, and I hated that one.
I'm so sorry.
I remember last stream I ranted about it, and you Death in the Nile.
You should have started with Murder on Orient Express.
Yeah, and then next day after I streamed it, I saw Murder on the Orient Express and loved it. Because my main problem with Death on the Nile was that the mystery, it felt like a cop out in terms of figuring out the mystery. It didn't give you enough clues.
Right.
To do it, and it did do a bit of browbeating a bit of Hercule Poirot. Of like, you're such a failure. You're a failure, Hercule Poirot. As a person. This one, on the other hand, I liked a lot better. This one is not as good as Murder of the Orient Express, mainly of the adaptation side of it.
Okay.
But in terms of everything else, it was a fun time. You get a huge horror movie vibe. Like, the first shots you see is Dutch angles of Venice. That's completely empty.
Ooh, all right.
So you get a lot of Dutch angles in this film. It's out the uneasiness. There's a lot of shadow and spooky elements. And even some jump scare. Like, Poirot is actually, throughout the adventure, seeing things. There's an explanation of it, but you'll go... I won't spoil it. Also, the main thematic is actually Poirot finding faith again, in a sense. Because early in the film, he's kind of not being a detective. He's like actually secluding himself, and people are trying to dog him about like, there was this person at the beginning saying, "I need your help with this case," and he's like brushing him off. In there. Like, it's only because of a friend played by Tina Fey, who's like a mystery novel writer, that he even joins the seance, because she wants him to disprove the Michelle Yeoh's character, who's like a psychic, a medium. And throughout the film, you get like issues of him trying to regain a sense of faith in the spiritual world of a sort, either a spiritual world or something.
I'm assuming
Like,
his loss of faith had something to do with the World War.
Yes, he mentioned explicitly, like, there's a scene where it's explicitly a Catholic woman, and he, of course, they go through the whole spiel about scripture and him, like, how could God exist with, like, 2 world wars, human suffering, and they did reference about the lover he had during the First World War. And, like, some hits about how death follows him. And it's so, by the end of the film, he gains a sort of faith.
A sort of faith. Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't say, he didn't become, like, spiritual or anything, but he basically regained his former self. Because by the end of the film, that person at the beginning who was questioning about wanting him to take his case, he takes his case, and by the end of the film, like, that was the last scene. The last shots is him talking over the case with him in his usual more enthusiastic Hercule Poirot self. Of course, like, unfortunately, like the last film, there's a twist with his sidekicks, who is his butler and Tina Fey's character. That part is getting kind of annoying, It's like, okay, could we please have a psychic who's honest?
Okay.
I want Hastings like the original detective story, who's like a character in the originals, where he's essentially Poirot's sidekick. Like the person 100% is completely honest and who's always with him. But you get that. It does do well exploring the characters and stuff. It does sell the creepy vibe, very creepy. And the murderer is the most awful person in the trilogy. Awful, not as in like terrible quality in writing, just awful person.
Just awful person.
Yeah, though she is. Okay, I spoiled something. Okay, the person is the person's reason for committing the murders is the most petty and unforgivable reason.
Okay. Damn.
I have really nothing to complain about. I content with my viewing in the film. I recommend you should watch it as soon as possible so I can actually talk about the film. I need people to talk about.
Well, hopefully I can watch it like around maybe Tuesday, because I have class Monday, but Tuesday I should be available to watch it.
I have work tomorrow, so I can definitely watch it Monday.
Yeah, so
just let me know. I want to talk about it. As soon as you're done, let me know. I really want to.
All right, we'll talk about it. Don't worry. In fact, we can even tell you what. Even next week, we could talk about it again, but spoiler talk version, if you want.
Sure.
All right. Yeah. So you would say this is the second best Poirot film?
Yeah.
Okay. Now.
And it's second best. You mentioned you qualified whether it's second best from the. I would put in terms of tiers. If we put them on a tier list, Death in the Nile I would give a C, and Murder on the Orient Express 2015 I would give an S. This one is an A.
Okay. All right, that's nice to hear. Yeah, I was disappointed with Death on the Nile, so.
Yeah, Death on the Nile, there is some good. It's well shot and. There's well done elements in there. It's just the story dragged it down. The story and the mystery dragged it down, which is important for a mystery.
Yeah.
You don't want to feel it. A mystery is like a good twist. You're basically writing a story with a twist, and the whole story is about finding out that twist. And much like a twist, you wanted to get people to have the chance to figure it out. But most people wouldn't because they're distracted by everything else.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad.
Don't withhold information.
Well, I'm glad then that the Poirot films are starting to get back on track, at least quality-wise. So that's nice to hear. All right. So, with that said then, now we can move on to the star of the show, I guess. So...
Okay. I'm gonna...
That's too much.
I
need to head out for bed. I need some sleep. It's great for you to come on, Mr. Greebles. Unfortunately, I have to sleep. So have a good night, everyone.
Alright, have a good night, Ninjato.
Have a good night, Ninjato.
Mr. Comet, are you with us?
Yes, can you give me a couple seconds?
Oh yeah, sure, no problem. Alright. Well, I guess in that case, while we wait for Comet, we could get started. So, Mr. Greebles, Mr. Comet brought you on here to talk about the Exodite. So, briefly tell us, what exactly is the Exodite?
So the Exodite was initially a for YouTube fan film similar to, I guess, Astartes or the Hell's Reach series. It was designed initially to be something that was kind of consumed from the creators directly to people on YouTube. And we got to our second teaser, which garnered a few million views and a lot of really great hype. And then, I mean, long story short, we were kind of absorbed by the Warhammer Plus, which is Games Workshop's streaming service. They do a couple other things like more gamer-oriented things, White Dwarf articles and stuff like that. But we, the animation company that we had formed, Lost Legion, was behind it, and the modeling work and the animation and things like that. But basically, we had to kind of stop being in the driver's seat when it came to the actual show because it went official. So yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys.
No, it's all right, man.
Yeah.
No problem.
What do we start? What I missed?
So I don't know.
Okay.
It's your top, man. Take the reins.
Oh, okay. I was making sure I'm not interrupting Andy. Okay. Now the Exodite. The Exodite is the summary. It's a series set in the eastern fringe of the galaxy, where the forces of the Imperial Man and the Tau Empire battle upon the ruined husk of a Eldari maiden world. Well, as they used to be called, the Eldar. Before you decide, they want to copyright everything.
All right.
Now they're called the Eldari, and maiden world is the Eldari is like colony, like a luscious world, colony that like it was a colony, either Eldar colony or planet that Eldar claimed that they'll come back for later after it got finished terraforming. Which for Eldar takes a long, for us take a long time. For Eldar, it's probably like really short because they live for a very long time. But
I think they're functionally immortal, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So they have all the time in the world. Now the protagonist is the recently promoted Shash Vray Lokoma, which what did that exactly? And for those who don't know, Shash Firecast, Vray, Shash is how Tau name convention work. Is that you have a personal name, but you're known by the name of what you did. Like for example, Commander Farsight. It's called Commander Farsight because I believe like he was really good at correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Greg, but he was really good at planning on the battlefield.
Yeah, I mean, basically the Commander Farsight, what is it? Oshova, right? Like, but I mean, he's got a much longer name. Shas O Viorla Kaismantir. I mean, it goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
But like, he was known to be particularly farsighted, just in his planning. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how much your listeners know about Tau lore and stuff like that, but yeah, it's one of the more.
Essentially,
yeah. I mean, you could do an entire episode entirely on like naming conventions and stuff like that. I'm actually one of the architects of the language for Tau, which is called Tausia. So yeah, I mean, if you want your episode to turn into a linguistics class, we can do that.
But short, Shash Frey is her rank, which is Firecast. Frey means like something along hero.
Okay.
And what does Lokama mean?
Lokama is just a name. It's something that's just it's an invention. Not all of their names always mean something.
Okay. Essentially, she got recently promoted to Shash Frey, which allowed grants her to be able to pilot a battle suit. And essentially battle suits are like pretty much the mecha, and they range in multiple sizes. And there's a mass number, ranging from 1 to 8. Well, actually, I think
they go further up, but yeah, it's
sorry, I was blanking on what the Riptide mass was. So yeah, or 9, and she was given the XV-25 stealth suit, and here's a fantastic render made by one of the artists, Alexander Cadnot, in Stream Backroom.
Yeah, also known as Augur. We had a fantastic artistic team. I mean, one of the things that happens with all animation projects with Games Workshop is that there's immense respect and usually an individual interest in the actual lore of 40K. So you get an enormous amount of fidelity to original concepts and stuff like that with very with deviancy usually that's just to make it seem just a little bit more more personalized and Augur, yeah, I mean he designed most of our stuff. Another one of our designers was our 3D designers was Joaz or Joachim Kolm, an excellent artist in his own right. We had a really wonderful team. Yeah.
Yeah, and XV-25 is what, and then and she also given a command of 3 more personnel. I don't think we ever heard their names, but they were given the X-15, the previous model of the stealth suit. With the X-25 is the egg shape. We call it the egg one. And
the XV-15 is the more old school Fire Warrior class. I mean, and again, like all of it has pretty significant both symbolism, but then also just like functionality, and that was something we were originally really wanting to explore in the original story, which was very different from what ended up happening on Warhammer Plus.
Yeah, nice. I'll go this quickly. Her squad mission was to capture the Eldari Ranger that've been killing their diplomats and killing Imperial commanders, because I don't remember what they said, or I don't think they know there's an Eldari mating world. But yeah, essentially he was trying to get revenge for all the Eldari that died on that world and make sure you see, about the mating worlds, in the middle is a form of afterlife for the Exodite Eldari, which are like Amish elves, pretty much. That ride dinosaurs.
To ride dinosaurs.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, this is like hardcore, like 80s style, like sci-fi kind of punk,
Oh, that's great. I love that stuff.
Yeah. Essentially, that is not in the Exodite, unfortunately.
Yes. And in the middle of this planet is like his people's afterlife, which is like, all these crystals, I forgot what they're called. It'll come back to me. Soul stones. Full of soul stones. It pretty much, when an Eldari die, they go to the soul stone. Their souls go into soul stones to be munched instead of being totally munched on by Slanesh.
You guys know about 40K though, right? Like this is,
I'm much more of a casual guy. I learn a lot of stuff through just talking with these guys. Really, he went to sleep, and Mr. Mashtik. Man, Mr. Mashtik, where do you go?
Yeah, Mr. Mashtik is someone who knows a lot about 40K. We know 40K from just the fan projects like Emperor Texas Speech and a lot of those other stuff.
Yeah. Generally speaking, I mean, obviously it's a great place to start. Anybody's let's call it their education of Warhammer 40K. It's always a good place to start with the YouTubers. But frankly, I mean, if Black Comet's breakdown is any indication, like you just keep saying words that you then have to explain over and over, like, oh, who are the Exodites? Well, they're like space Amish. And they're from Maiden Worlds. Oh, I guess I should explain what a Maiden World is. And it just keeps going and going. I mean, we're looking at lore that goes all the way back to the 1980s. So it's hard. It's definitely a process to try to like condense it all down into one single into a primer.
Wait, hold on. I got a joke. Buckle up, kids. We're going for a ride.
We're going for a ride. Nah, that's alright. Nah, I'm used to being into things like expanded lore and all that. That's like there are just onto a a casual person like, oh my gosh, what are all these words? I cannot talk. I've had experience with that. I know Bionicle.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I do not know Bionicle.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, boy.
Buddy, if you want to get into Bionicle, then you better be in for a ride yourself.
Yeah. But yes, essentially her mission is essentially capture this Aldari Ranger, capture, not kill, and try and negotiate and see like, why are you doing this? This one. And then and episode 1, and that was episode 1. And I really like one thing I like about episode 1 is the space battles.
Ooh.
It's you can see like the town and the Imperium duke it out. And there's this one scene there's a couple of scenes I really like. One is when they were inside like the Guardian class ships, the town Guardian class ships, and you can see the inside and everybody mobilizing.
Okay.
And you see the balusters moving. And the other scene is like when the Mantas, like the town dropships were moving towards the planet, and they'll be being shot at. One of the Guardian class ships swoops in and like belly side up, on its side up, use itself as a shield to make sure the Mantas get to the planet. And episode, then we go on episode 2, which shows like the ground war, which is like there's some things, and look, I'll get one part of the X-Like. It feels like it was way too. There's like it doesn't get into anything. You don't really get any character not like character moments. It feel like the best way to describe it. Do you ever watch video game cutscenes on YouTube?
Yeah. Yes, I have. I've done that plenty of times. Hey, there's Mr. Matchstick.
I'm trying to go somewhere with this, and you watch it. It's in chronological, but there's some stuff in the middle missing. The gameplay stuff missing. That's filling some gaps. It felt like that.
Okay. All right then.
But in episode 2, you see like the Manta, they see Titans. The Manta's gonna have Titans, and you see the Crisis suits trying to like battle the Mantas. I'm not Mantas, battle the Titans using a Beast Swarm method. Now there's a couple of things I kind of don't like about that.
Okay.
And also like I believe there was supposed to be an extra scene of why a Manta is on the ground, lifting up from the ground, because usually they're above the, above the clouds, out of range. And they usually take out Titans. What they do, they take pot shots. Take a shot, go up, out of range of the Titans. And that's usually how they take them out. And I believe there will probably be a scene where the Manta's on the ground trying to evacuate everyone off the planet, I believe. If they added that scene, it'll make more. It'll answer that question. The balusters were way too slow. But they were flying way too slow. The problem, balusters are really fast. Think get them in space fast.
Okay.
Because of the thrusters and the anti-grav tech in the suits. Like, they should be like zipping around like the Red Comet.
The Red Comet, nice.
Yeah.
All right.
And not just soaring, but also landing on the Titans. Because that's usually how small folks take out Titans. You land on them, and the buddy at another time the buddy can't shoot because it risks hitting the person while they swarm the tiny like ants. That's what usually Space Marines do too.
Okay.
But yeah, and the episode, they track the Eldari. And they track it, and one thing this Eldari was trying to do is activate all these nods. Now the Tau don't know what's they're happening, but they know, But they said one reason why they're trying to capture him. Yeah, and they found him. Well, first they find a Krieger squad.
All right.
Take care of them, destroy their tank. Essentially perform Monka, which is a strategy means killing both ends of Tau strategy. And after they took care of them, I'll always say this, it's the most, the Eldari come in, and I like how it shows how fast Eldari are. And they kill like a few of the squad. I think they kill one squad member and injure another, and they can barely hit them. Then you kind of mock them, and by the way, the Eldari is voiced by Clancy Brown.
Oh no way! Nice.
Yeah. So every time you talk, I just hear Lex Luthor being what's the word?
You should have mentioned Clancy Brown earlier. Nice.
Yeah, I just remember. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's right.
And he took him out really fast and poof, then runs away. Meanwhile, one of the Kriegers wasn't quite dead yet. And got up with a trench tool.
All right.
And for somehow, despite having drone overwatch, a helmet full of a sensor full scale sensor suite, it somehow snuck up on one of the X-15 wearers stealth members, and knocked him upside the head, and kept beating him while everybody just stood there and watched. Drones did nothing. The other teams did nothing. Before the squad, Lakama decided to remove his top half with her fusion gun. Now, I mean, remove his top half. One shot and his top half was gone. Like literally gone, vaporized. Yeah, but I kind of got. There was when that friend scene happened, there were a lot of people calling it BS. Because you got this guy being knocked out by a guy with a trench suit while the Tau was wearing full-on power armor, essentially. I mean, I understand the first hit, but they just stood there. The minute he got in the first hit, he should have been lit up like a Christmas tree by a drone.
Should look like a Christmas tree. All right.
Yeah, but gripes aside, we go on episode 3, and not much. And the episode 3, they finally find Eldari, and one thing I really like about is the conversation between the Ranger and Lakama, because the Rangers were being all I would say nihilistic.
Okay.
Well, you can tell the difference of how they view things easily. Well, Lakama is very hopeful, very sure in her ideas. I've got the Ranger was a bit nihilistic, saying this all happened before. The cycle just keep happening and happening. We didn't learn from our mistakes, and etc. Even though Eldari don't exactly tell anyone their mistakes, but that's neither here nor there.
Okay.
And he kills the last of her squad when he tries to snapping his neck after he knock him off when he tries to subdue him. Activate the webway, which is like the Eldari superhighway. Well, highway portal thing.
Mm-hmm.
Magic highway.
Huh.
So, and let in the Eldar Titans, which start decimating the other Titans, the Imperial Titans.
All right.
And when his mission was complete, he ran into the webway, and Lokama. Well, no, scratch that. He didn't run the webway. Lokama wanted revenge, and overwhelmed by anger, she activated the Justice in his suit and knock the Ranger into the webway. And while the Ranger ended up getting an offer to join the Harley Quinns, which is like the Eldar jesters and who worship the laughing god.
That guy.
All right. She ended up in, well, the worst possible place.
Oh.
Kamara. The Dark Eldar city.
Ooh. Yikes.
Now, yeah. And we never know what happened to her because there was only 3 episodes. And I think best case scenario, she ended up like on She and become a gladiator.
Huh.
A fan favorite gladiator. I mean, Dark Eldar. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but Dark Eldar, that's not a really good fate.
Yeah.
No, not.
Ish. All right.
And yeah, I skip over a lot of stuff, but
That's understandable.
The problem with this, it felt like, and you know, this girl, there's supposed to be more. You know, it felt like, wait, it's still like when I watch it, I felt like, wait, am I missing something? It felt like there's supposed to be more stuff. And the thing is, the Exodite is far from what it was. I mean, I'm tired. I'd be hyperbolic, but but you know, it was not what it's supposed to be. You know, originally it was supposed to be all of it was supposed to be in Talsia.
And Eldari. I mean, it wasn't going to be in English at all.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Talsia, Eldari, and I believe the appearance would appear. It was all they're supposed to be Gothic.
Yeah, eventually there would have been the introduction of a Space Marine chapter, which would have spoken along with their crew, and they would have spoken entirely in Gothic, which would have been kind of like an invented somewhere between Latin and like German.
Ooh.
That changed.
And I'm trying to, the only thing left of the original trailer, which is all in Talsia, is a reaction video by Chapter Master Valverick.
Huh.
Yeah, I think you can find it in a couple places, but yeah, basically, taken down. It's been reposted a few times, which carries a lot of. I mean, originally, things change. So originally, the tower actually supposed to be in the first of let's call it like a let's say like a 3-part series, right, with 3 mini episodes released on YouTube. Originally, in the first season, the Tau were supposed to be the antagonists, and the protagonists would have been the Exodites. Which would have been, I think, pretty interesting. We deliberately had picked 2 races that we thought that they would never be any let's call it coverage, right? There wouldn't be any coverage. Obviously, the people who are in the driver's seat of the franchise are the Space Marines, so there's always going to be Space Marine stuff. There'll be a little bit of I guess Sisters of Battle, Imperial Guard, things like that. Relatively, what I would say is relatively easy narratives for people to get on board with, because they're human, But I've made the argument before. Avatar is one of the most successful franchises of all time, and it's entirely about all of the protagonists are aliens speaking weird made-up languages. I think several billion dollars in positive sales would argue that people can handle an alien language and alien protagonist, but whatever. It's kind of weird to hear a first-hand review in speaking distance with the reviewer. It's interesting to think about some of the stuff that Black Comet said, because there are all sorts of things that kind of end up on the cutting room floor.
Originally there would be striking scorpions in here too.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Originally, I mean, I don't think I'm breaching any NDAs or whatever if I talk about what might have been, but but the original series was supposed to be predominantly the story and journey of somebody called the Exodite, and I have a couple friends that worked on The Mandalorian, and I noticed that around. Yeah, and I noticed around kind of like the same time, it's like everybody started making shows with, the ninja, the knight, things like that. So I don't know if something was in the air. But the Exodite was supposed to center around a young girl who was an Exodite. And the person that Clancy Brown voiced was effectively something called an exarch, which think of it as like a warrior champion, who kind of lost his way and wanted to effectively find some sense of retirement or peace or reflection after being horribly mutilated during a battle with a Space Marine chapter that we had invented.
Oh wow!
And yeah, and it was, it's interesting because generally speaking, if you know anything about 40K, even kind of a cursory look at the universe, not a lot of people end up getting to the retirement part of the story.
Yeah.
Everybody dies horribly, and ends up in a rolling hellscape or some kind of whatever. Yeah. So this guy. He was a striking scorpion. We had it was in part of the teaser, but it showcased a group of Eldar going up against a Space Marine. So they're the new ones, which are called Primaris, and they fail. They fundamentally and categorically they get kind of curb stomped, and one of the final moments is this Exarch basically making a misstep, and this Space Marine shooting him point blank in the face with a bolt pistol. And then what we would have done is we would have kind of transferred over into the meditations. It's very Jedi, it's kind of like warrior priests, warrior monks. We would have transitioned into where this guy is now, and he's on a maiden world. And the Maiden World, which, as Black Comet had said, is kind of they're kind of these primordial paradises where they're usually far from conflict. They're on the edges of the galaxy, and they're inhabited by these guys called Exodites. And a young Exodite, I don't know what you call it, female, girl, young woman. She is fascinated by this warrior that's come from out beyond, who is basically everything that she wants to be. She wants to be a fearsome warrior. She wants to be capable, and all this guy is doing, in a very kind of Obi-Wan kind of way, is like telling her why do you want that? Like you don't want to go out into the Warhammer 40K universe. It's scary out there. And so she's kind of hoping that he'll train her, or he'll take her, or at least he'll tell her stories about what it's like being in the greater in a greater universe. And he keeps kind of rejecting her. And this would have been around what would have been episode 2. At the end of episode 2, there would have been an attack by Tau, who have come into the region and are basically fleeing a combat zone where they themselves have lost against a group of Imperials. And so they while they again, I'm a huge Tau fan. I very much want to state that, but I do think that some of the more interesting storylines is when is when somebody has to act outside of their character, and so the Tau led by Lacoma, would have basically concluded that they have to find a place that they can find, you know, kind of a safe harbor, that they can kind of repair their ships and lick their wounds and everything. And so the casualty in this, I mean, the Tau follow a philosophy of the greater good, which is everything that it sounds like. For the greater good of the larger body, we're going to have to kill these natives or these indigenous people, the Exodites. And while we don't want to, and we're not evil, we can't risk that they won't do something, right? And we're too weak right now. So she makes this call to do that, and obviously it's a bad call, because what ends up happening in the proposed final episode would be that this kind of, again, you guys have seen some probably similar things happen in other media, but like the Exarch,
Hero's Journey.
Oh yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
This Eldar champion.
Oh, I said start of a hero's journey kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And so this Exarch, this Eldar warrior, has to put back his armor on and basically do the thing he absolutely doesn't want to do, which is go back to fighting and dying and killing people, which he does. He wipes out these, you know, the Tau Vanguard, and then is actually killed. Lacoma kills him. And while she is kind of looking down at this crazy warrior that just wiped out her people, she gets taken out by her name was Ishana, the original Exodite, this teenager. And Ishana would have gone over to the fallen Exarch and started taking his armor off and putting it on herself. And so in the subsequent proposed season, she would have been this kind of amalgamation of an Eldar. She would be wearing the armor of a Craft World Eldar, but she herself would be an Exodite. And what Black Comet was saying earlier on, there are these things called Spirit Stones, and so very similar to the kind of the Star Wars idea that once a Jedi of significant power dies, he can kind of reappear as a ghost. The Exodite would have become a voice in her head because his soul would have been absorbed by these Spirit Stones that are on his armor. So it would have been her journey as her world is kind of plunged into war, which she gets what she wants. She wants to know what the greater 40K universe is like. Well, the Tau now think that they're in danger because there's Eldar on the planet and they've just lost a forward team. While the Imperial Space Marines and various branches of the Imperium arrive in the system and have caught up with them. So the whole system would kind of become embroiled in this three-way war, with the Exodites kind of caught in the middle of it. And then we had, no point in talking about it now, but we had kind of a grand idea that, the Maiden World would be revealed. It's not actually a Maiden World, and the rest is kind of history. What came out, I mean, there are things that I like about what happened after the collaboration with Games Workshop, which became much more on brand, with lots of conflict and lots of war and Krieg, who had recently been released and stuff like that, like much more, let's call it commercial. There are things I appreciate about it, and there's things that I really do, I wish had gone perhaps a different way. And to hear Black Comet kind of give the review in real time, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I don't think was communicated well. There's a lot of decisions that were ultimately met that I think, yeah, it would have been great to have had more time and more and more everything to be able to tell the story that that would have, yeah.
I just want to be clear. I want to see this continue because I kind of want to see what happened. The I call Lacama's Nightmare Adventure. Oh, dang it. Hold on. I had Lacama's look, sounds very Lakoma's Nightmare Adventures with Kamura.
That's a mouthful.
You said that was a mouthful. Don't worry.
I know. Sorry, I was trying to give it that.
No, it's a lot. Lakoma's. I can't even repeat it. But Kimura is a weird word that I've never. I don't actually know how you're supposed to say it. Kimura, camera. Anyway, yeah.
Are you talking about Kamarog?
Yeah, but I've never heard like the official way you're supposed to say it. I've heard 4 or 5 different ways throughout the 20 some odd years I've been a 40K fan. Like Gilliman, right? Like Guilliman, Gilliman. You know, there's a lot of different ways of saying all this stuff.
I just call it Robot Gorilla Man.
There you go. Gorilla Man.
Rodin Guillotine has always been a favorite of mine.
So yeah, I mean, as to, sorry, what were you saying, Black Comet, about you'd like to see more of the?
No, you know, like I said before, I just want to see what happened.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I me too. Yeah, I'd love to know what happened. Lakoma was a favorite of mine. Her, and I wish we'd gotten to see more of Commander Stone Dance, voiced by a friend of mine, Megan Bloom Fluid, an excellent voice actress. Commander Stone Dance is the person in charge of the overall kind of Tau forces in the region. It would have been great. It'd be great to see anything about them, but. Yeah, Warhammer Plus. There's a lot of interesting stories that I've seen over the years, and it feels like it would be great to have like follow-ups, because usually they kind of end open-ended, and you know, you could probably get like a short story that could wrap it up or something like that. But
A short story written by Peter Ferrari.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm a big fan of Ferrari.
Nice. All right.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No. I'll just breathing out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that's really cool to hear. Are there any other thoughts, Stu, you wanna have about the Exodite?
Sorry, myself or Black or Comet or sorry.
Both of you.
Mr. Gribbles, I'll let Mr. Gribbles go first.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, you know, ultimately, every time someone, it's very difficult to critique movies. You know, of any kind, of any length. Nobody signs up to make a bad movie. No one goes into it, you know, thinking, "Oh, this is gonna really suck." So whenever reviewing films, it's one of the reasons why, you know, active filmmakers, you know, you kind of take your career into your own hand if you start commenting on other people's works, because everybody that makes movies should know the process is very difficult, you know, and the script you write and the film you shoot and the film you edit are 3 different movies, you know, and it can be frustrating when somebody doesn't deliver or something like that. But generally speaking, I try not to have too negative of an opinion when it comes to a work that, you know, takes hundreds of people to make. Generally speaking, let's say dozens of people at least to make, and so I'm proud of a lot of the things that we did with the Exodite, and it has, you know, what is it? It's not about the what is it? It's about the friends you make along the way. I've made lifelong friends in the process of making something, and I was given an opportunity that a lot of people can only dream about, right? Which is getting to work with the franchise that you grow up with, or that you know, or that you're addicted to. In this case, is probably both. I all in all, I just wish you wish for more time. You wish you wish for more of a budget. You wish for more episodes and things like that. But ultimately it is what it is. So I hope one day there will be, it probably won't be me that does it, but I would love for there to be a conclusion to Lacoma's story, whatever it might be. And I totally agree with you, Black Comet.
It's time to Silva.
I want her to link up with Anshi, who was written into a short story that he was trapped in Gamora as a gladiator, and has been there ever since. I'd love to know what happened to him, because
he comes back.
I think it'd be cool to expand that part of the. I mean, the Tau right now, kind of lack a main story, right? Like they're just. It's not like the Imperium of Man or the all of the different characters that we have that are human. They don't really have, or even the Necrons for that matter. The Necrons kind of just got a big update and a big expansion of their lore, which is super great. I'm super jealous.
I know Farsight has a lot of stuff going for him, but he's not even technically Tau. Not even like the main Tau stuff.
I mean, he's a sub faction, right? So
yeah.
I mean, it'd be great if we could get something. I'm sure we'll get something in a new codex or something. But it would be nice to have something that you could point at and be like, this is what the Tau are about. And if you ever come to our Discord, you can hear me screaming at the sky and yelling at clouds that I really do think that there's plenty there, and I mean the community. There's nothing quite like the Tau community, in my opinion. I mean every nerddom and fandom is different, and I think that in order to be a 40K Tau fan, you have to be way more kind of considerate of the very small amounts of lore that we get. And kind of building a narrative out of that's kind of functional. It's complicated, and it's something we talk about a lot. And I think that it would be lovely if we could get kind of somebody, up top or wherever, that takes a look at all of the things that the community has come up with over the years, and kind of take that into consideration, rather than the opposite, which is just kind of ignore what everybody wants. But I guess everybody in every fandom that's ever existed has kind of hoped for that. So I'm yelling at clouds.
Usually you're either yelling GW or saying Kelly in the same way Timmy turned his dad say Dinkelberg.
Dinkelberg.
Kelly. But like I said, despite my criticism, I enjoyed the action and such, and hope one day they complete her story, and one day Anshi comes back looking like a Pillar Man.
Looking like a Pillar Man.
I mean, who knows what they've been injecting him in Kamara? No, it's a bit of a joke, because we Dark Elder have every drug imaginable, so imagine like what they're doing to him in there. He just comes back to the town and bar up as a 7-foot tall Pillar Man. like, look at me, I'm the leader now.
I'm the leader now. All right.
Try to kick Anpa in the chair. Turns out he's a hologram.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of. Anyway.
Yeah, but that's a long different story. Yeah, but Exolite, give it a shot. There are methods to watch it.
You can watch it. Was it Warhammer TV, right?
Yeah, you can watch it.
Yeah, I mean Warhammer Plus has that's where it's hosted right now. Who knows where it'll be in the future, but yeah, right now it is exclusive to Warhammer Plus.
Oh, it's so fun. I forgot how much that's still going on. I figure, Chicho will just like sweep it under the rug and be like,
yeah.
Warhammer Plus? What Plus? We don't know any of objective failures on our part. Look, Terra Nexus over there.
Oh, have you seen the Pariah Nexus?
Yeah, I saw a few things on Reddit.
Hmm.
Yeah, I might watch it. You know, it's Necrons. And oof. Yeah, I can.
Meaning, if it's Necron, it's decent chance it'll probably be good.
Yeah, I've got his name. His name is the Necron. This one is Chrono something. He's the one that even the Necrons don't like.
He's the one even they don't like.
Look, everybody don't like. Even Necrons don't like each other. They'll agree they don't like him. He's the for the science type.
Oh, you can't all be treason.
Yeah,
I see.
Yeah, I mean, there's a scene where you like literally take this guardsman and take them apart molecule by molecule, study the molecules, then study the molecules, and put them back together again.
Jeez.
Then take them apart again.
Oh my
to study
goodness.
again.
Ooh.
No anesthesia.
Ooh.
And then when his brains get annoying, he just
What is it? What is it? What is this mediocre torture the Dark Eldar are hearing? This man has no style or taste.
Why isn't he turning the guy into a sofa? And yes, the Dark Eldar do take some of their slaves and turn them into sofas.
Wow.
Living sofas.
You have your little lamp with the little shade with a bunch of screaming faces. And you got a little thing you chink. It's just a little nutsack. Chink.
After that will be something they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for the topic. You can find Excellent on Warhammer Press. Watch it. And
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And
thank you for the invitation, by the way, Black Comet.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. And
I'll tune into you guys. Do you guys do this every week? I think I missed the beginning.
Every Saturday is a podcast, unless something comes up. So
right.
So thanks a lot for coming by, Mr. Greebles. It's been really fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Enjoy the rest of your episode.
All right. Thank you.
Have a good night.
Have a good night, man.
Have a good night, Mr. Greebles.
Have a good night.
And there he goes.
No.
Here, I'm gonna put his Discord server ID in the chat again. So if anyone's interested in that, no whammo. Hiya, bammo. All right.
Hold on, let me tell him. Yeah, make sure he leaves the server.
Oh, you just want him to be like a temporary guest? All right.
Yeah.
All right, I could just
Yeah, that. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, it was fun with him. All right. So, with that said, then. Oh shit! I'm out of tea. Damn it! I drank all my tea. Ugh. Oh well. All right.
I've been holding this in for so long. Cows cringe.
You really don't like the towel.
I don't dislike them, but they're
Hmm.
And my interest level for 40K, they're very low.
Okay. What now, Chelsea? Well, we still got more stuff to talk about, Chelsea. So here's what I'm gonna do. Let's take 5, mostly just from an excuse for me to get some more tea to drink, and then when we come back, we will be moving on to our other topics. So let's take a quick 5-minute break, and then we'll be right back. Just a quick reminder that I do have stream elements. You can tip, donate, etc., whatever you want to call it. You do not have to if you don't want to. Oh! Oh my gosh, we gotta shoot down the helicopter now? Are you shitting me? Oh my god! Holy shit!
This is insane.
What the hell? Hold on. Should I push her or should I pull her back? Push her.
Yeah, you should push her.
I mean, that kills her, but yeah.
What? 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 No!
But it's okay for him to just break my stuff.
Of course not.
Wow, Meredith,
He's
you're looking
learned his lesson now.
actually okay. You don't have brain cancer.
You gave me this for my birthday. I mean, you should be pissed off too.
Oh, never mind.
Something's wrong, but you don't just go punching every person who makes you mad.
There's the best fucking timing.
3 grades above you. I mean, that kid practically
Volker, make sure that your statements are not so embarrassingly carelessly worded next time. What? What? You are so disrespectful. Amazing. All delinquents types like this, even the way you dress so flip-flop disregard for authority. Sweater fest, disgraceful. Delinquent? I'm on the student council. Motherfucker, I'm on the student council. You think that fucking, you think, oh, look, what about you, huh? With your fucking Hawaiian shirt. Oh, look at me, I got a fucking Hawaiian shirt. How professional. I got a big fucking katana carrying around, swinging around. Hi-ya, hi-ya. You call that professional, motherfucker? You call yourself a businessman? Look at you, fucking dressed up all casual like that bitch-ass motherfucker. Get the fuck out of here. Why don't you get a fucking haircut? Shave that fucking beard of yours, you bitch-ass. Get some glasses for crying out loud. Oh, look at me, I'm Jagoro. I'm like a JoJo character. Hi-ya, hi-ya. Yeah. A hand pounds on my back a hard couple times, severely winding me. I couldn't care less about the culprit as I focused my thoughts on my chest in near automatic reaction. My hand instantly tightens on my breast, and I start going through the steps I rehearse in my mind every other day. Breathe. In and out. For measure of relief, I can slowly feel my chest becoming less tense. By the time I look up, my face is covered in sweat from the experience. No! No! Not only did he cause a heart attack, but it's also... No! Well, you see,
Man, that impression of Shia LaBeouf in college is fantastic.
Oh god, you know what? I gotta look up now real quick. His fucking freak out in Dark of the Moon. You know what I'm talking? You know when he's in the car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh, that guy's just. Look at this guy. He's just. he's just hanging there. Look at this. This guy's just hanging here.
It can allow them to stay on the map, but these are dumb as shit, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, that guy was just fucking hanging there. Come on!
As every he punches in the boss's head. Family.
That's right. Yeah, come on, bitch. The power of family. Yes. Come on, power of family. Okay, there we go. Come on. That's it. Power of family, baby. Okay, how do I do this? Hiya! Oh, her frontal lobe. Oh
wow! It's Grand Theft Auto 5 in here. Like,
oh, eat it!
Is Spider-Man 2 gonna have free-form switching characters?
Yeah, there we go. We did it. We beat the game. Power of family. That's the power. Alrighty, I'm back.
Yeah, so we'll just in the back room.
Baby, what's wrong? You barely smoked any of your Bluntosaurus. My Bluntosaurus. This Ken hates sand. I'm just Ken. Alright. Welcome back, Chelsea. I am glad to be back. Alright. Alright, I'm just drinking some more tea. Man, where the hell is Nick? He's online and he's not here. Where the hell is he? Where is he?
Treason then.
It's treason then.
Unlimited
power. Hold on. Oh, excuse me. Why is Kevin Hart Vegeta?
He's short.
Ah, is that all? He's just short.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a joke, but the old Netflix joke.
Yeah, I know. Ugh. All right.
Imagine Kevin Hart trying to play Vegeta.
No, I don't ever want to see Kevin Hart being Vegeta. At least not live action. I don't know. Even then.
I mean, as a joke.
As a joke. Wait, for like an SNL skit?
Yes.
Alright.
Because he doesn't have to be joking, just try be serious of serious Vegeta.
Uh-huh.
And that would be funny in itself.
Vegeta! It's Black Vegeta! He's the main rival to Black Goku.
Which Black Goku?
Well, there's more than one?
Well, there's Goku Black, which is like evil Goku. And then there's Black Goku.
I don't understand Dragon Ball anymore. I'm just gonna move on. What you laughing at?
The Rock is Nappa.
Yeah, but I'm more confused why Kevin Hart's a Vegeta though.
Yeah, but The Rock is Nappa would be really funny.
That is true. It's kind of funny.
Hey Vegeta! Hey Vegeta! Hey Vegeta! Hey Vegeta! Hey Vegeta! Oh gosh, damn it, Nappa!
Oh my! I can hear it now. I can hear it. I
think I get to do a pretty good job of it.
The Rock as Nappa. That's my fan casting. Come on, Netflix, hire me. Hire me, and then so that way I could go on strike. So that way I could get better pay from you guys, you bastards. All right. But anyways. Now I'm back. We can move on to our other topics. So. Alright. So recently, I've been on a big monster flick kick going on. Especially Godzilla. I don't know why. I've just been really into Godzilla all of a sudden. So I like Godzilla. I mean, to be fair, like there's a lot of stuff coming out now. Like there's a new Gamera show on Netflix, and then there's a new Godzilla movie coming out later this month in Japan. Well, not later this. What am I saying? Later this year in Japan, and then also there's gonna be an Apple TV show that ties into the MonsterVerse, but I don't know how many people are gonna watch that because it's Apple TV. But either way, I just been with all this like resurgence and like monsters and kaiju. I just been really into a big Godzilla kick. So last week I talked about Godzilla 2014, and I said last week that I was gonna continue on with the MonsterVerse. That kind of became a lie because I then decided I'm gonna go watch the original Godzilla instead, the original 1954 Gojira. And then afterwards, I decided to go watch Shin Godzilla because I wanted to. So I'm going to talk about both movies, Gojira 1954 and Shin Godzilla. So yeah. So speaking of which, Godzilla 1954. What to say about this film that hasn't been said?
Okay, so first of all, we need to introduce something that the youngins may never heard of, called World War II.
Yes, World War II. So.
Well, no. In all seriousness, Angus, what do you like? You're big into tokusatsu.
I am.
And this is one of the forefathers.
It is. In fact, Godzilla is what invented tokusatsu in the first place. So, I am very big into that. I will say, we talked about this before, or not, we were talking about this. Rewatching Godzilla in 1954, I remember just going, man, this is a when you really watch it, you go, man, this is a really fucking depressing movie. This is not a good time. I mean, it fits for, you know, the time period it was in, and also, like, the message it's trying to say, but it's a depressing time. Like, it is not a happy ending at all. Just, movie just straight up ends with, I forgot that one guy's name, but, like...
Serizawa?
No, not Serizawa. Well, Serizawa, yeah, he dies, but the other guy, the other scientist who's, like, you know, who gives the message at the end saying, like, oh man, you know, if nuclear weapon testing continues, you know, there's just gonna be another Godzilla and so much more horror and death. And it's like, what a fucking downer of an ending. It's like no one's celebrating that Serizawa defeated Godzilla because Serizawa himself died. And it just ends with just, yeah, the future is just gonna suck ass if we just keep, you know, dropping nukes. It's a depressing ending, and it's not a really fun movie.
Yamane.
Yamane, thank you. And you know, there was a lot of stuff that led up to this movie and all that. We all know that, you know, it was its whole message against, you know, at least the testing of nuclear weapons, specifically because at the time, you know, Japan just like only like a decade, or like just barely a decade ago, they just had 2 of their cities just fucking decimated off the map of the Earth with atomic bombs. And then not only that, but America keeps testing nuclear bombs in the Pacific Ocean. And then one of the major things that led up to the, you know, the reason for Godzilla being created was the Castle Bravo nuclear testing. I'm trying to remember what the fishing vessel was. Lucky Dragon number 5. There was a... I don't remember like the exact date, but there was a Japanese fishing ship called Lucky Dragon number 5. And long story short, it was in what was supposed to be a safe zone away from U.S. military testing of the Castle Bravo hydrogen bomb. Turns out, U.S. military underestimated how powerful the Castle Bravo hydrogen bomb was, and the radiation spread beyond the, you know, the area they thought it would be, and the radiation ended up affecting the crew of Lucky Dragon number 5. They all got radiation poisoning and all that, and that sucked ass. And that was ultimately one of the, like, major inspirations for Ishiro Honda to go, let's make Godzilla. Let's make this a movie where it's all about, you know, nuclear weapons, nuclear testing. It's not really a good thing.
Do you know of the production before Godzilla was a thing?
I do. So please bear with me. Just going off like some like stuff I've seen, like videos and stuff. If I remember correctly, they did always kind of want to make a monster movie because what was it?
It was because it was inspired by the Beast from 20,000 Fathoms.
Yes, the Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, and they're like, "Oh, cool! We want to make a monster movie of our own. We want to do that." In fact, Godzilla was actually going to be stop motion, like the Beast from 20,000 Fathoms. But then, during production, they realized stop motion is an expensive thing to do, and also very time consuming. So they decided to, well, why not just put a guy in a suit, and we'll have like miniatures for the monster to, you know, destroy. And that's how Tokusatsu came to be.
Everybody knows that stop motion is performed by using black magic.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're right, Black Hama. I forgot. Ray Harryhausen was the greatest wizard of our lifetime.
Yeah, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. He was still some say he's still alive today with his black magic, but locked up by the creations who have risen up against him.
Exactly. But yeah, so Godzilla was always gonna be a monster movie. They wanted Toho. They want to do this. It was.
Oh, sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Essentially, it was they originally were going to produce a movie called In the Shadow of Glory. It was going to be a Japanese-Indonesian production.
Oh, interesting.
It would have starred Ryo Ikibe, who he was going to be a Japanese soldier who was stationed in the Dutch East Indies. And it was going to be during the Japanese occupation of Indonesia.
What a bold move.
And then Yoshihiko Yamaguchi was going to be his half Indonesian love interest.
Oh.
But believe it or not, Changus, Indonesia wasn't really fond of the Japanese. I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder why. Yeah, Japanese really weren't kind people back in the 1900s. They were pretty bad.
No, they were.
They were pretty bad. But like they always wanted to make a monster movie. It was ultimately the nuclear testings along, especially the Castle Bravo, Lucky Dragon number 5, that Ishiro Honda decided, let's make this not into just your typical monster film. Let's try to make this, have a message against such, horrors of mankind.
If Japanese created anime from the result of being nuked twice, then what ungodly behavior would China be resulted from being nuked with nuclear carpet bombed by Douglas MacArthur?
Douglas MacArthur.
It would be a sea of 1,000 Godzillas.
Oh. But like other than that, like there's nothing really much I could say about the original Godzilla because like what hasn't been said about it already. It's a classic film. Again, it's not a happy time though. You're not going in there with intention of you being like entertained, like, ooh wow, monster destroying stuff, yay! It's not. In fact,
oh wow, monster destroying stuff. No.
I mean, on a technical level, it is very impressive how they're able to pull off, sceneries of, massive destruction with just, miniatures and a guy in a suit.
So it's like what's that meme of like the happy guy on the right corner staring at the image, and then the meaning is just like wait.
Oh, I know what you're talking. It's the one with like the Gundam, right? Where it's like, oh man, cool robot, and then the Gundam shooting the message over him like war is bad.
It's like oh man, Eiji Tsuburaya. It sure is a great special effects artist. And then it's like nuclear warfare is bad.
Or just man, Eiji Tsuburaya is a great special effects artist, and then over the head, you don't know that he's gonna create Ultraman later. But
it's funny how the Japanese create the nukes are bad message, and then you got back to all the shit they were doing in World War II.
Yeah. I mean, if you want, I could talk about Godzilla versus GMK, Godzilla's Monsters on Attack, where that's just kind of the whole point of that movie is literally, man, we did some fucking bad shit during World War II. So real quick, in GMK, the whole point of Godzilla in there is he is a monster literally created by the souls of the victims of World War II, especially the souls of victims that were, caused from. Well, not Man-King, but just Japan in general. So it's literally just Japan's fucking sins from World War II coming back to just fucking lay waste to them. So Everyone did bad shit in World War II, Ray. Yeah, but Japan did some especially nefarious shit in World War II.
But Japan, Germany, and the Soviet Union particularly sucked.
Yeah, they did some terrible things.
But nobody likes talking about what the Soviet Union did. Only everyone wants to talk about, funny evil mustache.
You know how
man.
You know how there was a rape of Nanking?
Uh-huh.
There was a rape of East Prussia.
Wow.
After the Soviets got there.
Wow.
The Soviets fucking hated the Germans.
Didn't they just fucking burn Berlin to the ground, killed everyone on sight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Soviets were good.
You did not. If there was one front you did not want to be in, it was the Eastern Front.
Ray, long story short, yes, everyone did bad shit in World War II. Even we did some bad shit. It's just some of the sides just did really bad shit.
We'll go.
It's
like the Germans, the Nazi, the Germans, the Soviets, and the Japanese are like the Michelangelo meme. They're like cowabunga, dude.
Cowabunga, dude.
With a shot of just really intense Michelangelo.
But ultimately, Godzilla it's all about the nuclear is not really a good thing. Now keep in mind, this was, the mindset of Japan back then, when nuclear weapons was fairly new. I bring this up because I'm gonna tie into Shin Godzilla and kind of its core message, and I find it very interesting how with just viewing through Godzilla movies, the view on nuclear energy and weapons has kind of how it's evolved over time.
It's because Japan as a country, even though they've been hit by 2 bombs, they're they're not very anti-nuke. They're they're the one country that understands the viability of nuclear power.
The power. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I would say the power of the sun in my hand.
Palm of my hand.
And one of the things that are you gonna go into Shin right now?
A little in a bit.
Okay. Tell me when you do, because
okay. But yeah. But also I was saying it's not really a fun movie. A lot of times it really is just showcasing the horrors of what can nuclear do. A lot of the imagery you see of Godzilla just putting laying waste to Tokyo as it becomes a sea of fire is very much it was not just also nuclear, but it was also some of it just the damage done to Japan from World War II, Tokyo on fire, very much the fire bombings that was going on. And then I remember there's a scene, there's a really depressing ass scene in Godzilla where when Godzilla's rampaging through Tokyo, there's just a scene of a mother just holding her children dear to her, and she's just straight up telling them, we're gonna meet your dad soon. Don't you worry, we're gonna meet him soon. Just straight up saying, no, we're just gonna fucking die to Godzilla. But don't worry, we'll be in heaven.
Yeah. Next thing they do, they go into the light. They see their dad, and he has the belt.
Oh my god, what is wrong with you?
Man, yeah. Japanese shame is on a whole nother level.
There's also another scene where the aftermath of Godzilla destroying Tokyo is they're all these people are being treated in a hospital ward. There's literally a scene where this doctor, all he's testing a children or something, and then he just straight up just doesn't say a word, just straight up just shakes his head, just pretty much saying, "Kids got radiation poisoning." It's like, oh, damn, fuck. And then there's another in that same scene there's another part where there's just a little girl just crying over her fucking mom just dead, just straight up she's just dead, and the little girl's just crying. It's a really fucking bad time. And again, this also just goes into the ending as well with even Serizawa. I do want to talk a bit about Serizawa as well before I move on to Shin Godzilla. Serizawa is interesting. It's very interesting how he's become kind of like the poster boy human character of the original Godzilla movie, because of what his actions did is probably one of the most impactful. But he's not really in the movie a lot at all. He's actually kind of a minor character for like a good chunk of it until like the third act. You get like some introduction to him. He's like, I guess like I remember, it's like the boyfriend of the daughter of the scientist Kaname, and then they have a thing, and then the whole point of Serizawa is that he managed to somehow develop a weapon even worse than the fucking nuclear bomb. Is the oxygen destroyer, where the whole point is just destroys all oxygen surrounding it, and everything just fucking vaporizes around it. It's a terrible fucking thing he made. Serizawa is kind of like if Oppenheimer developed a nuclear bomb, but he didn't feel remorse about it. But he didn't feel remorse about it until, after the bomb dropped. He felt remorse about it, like, the minute he created the damn thing. It's like, oh, fuck, what have I done? Oh, gosh. And Serizawa's really that, like, whole point of Serizawa is he's there to kind of put in the message that, like, human beings, we can develop weapons even more terrifying than the nuclear bomb if we wanted to.
Like the hydrogen bomb.
Exactly. And then the thing is, when he kills Godzilla with the oxygen destroyer, he also ends up killing himself as well from his own device, because he fears that if he survived, mankind would just go after Dr. Serizawa and force him to develop another oxygen destroyer to use as weapons. And that would mean we could, and if we like start testing oxygen destroyers like we were testing nuclear bombs, we could end up inadvertently awakening something even worse than Godzilla. It's not a happy message. It's just straight up telling you, if these stuff can continue, horrors unspeakable is going to happen.
Become at least Super Godzilla.
Super Godzilla. No, we're gonna have to wait till that was it like the NES game?
Oh,
which one?
Oh, sorry.
Hey.
No, wait, no, it was SNES. Super Godzilla was Super Nintendo.
Oh, Super SNES. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm back.
Welcome back. We're talking about Godzilla and how the original 1954 movie is a fucking depressing film.
This is sad.
No, but it is. But I'm laughing a lot, but like, I'm being honest. Like, it's not a fucking fun film. It's a
tragic movie.
Yeah, it's a very tragic movie. And so I guess now this ties.
Also, before you continue, I do have a haul.
You do have a haul? Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. First.
Oh, Spike.
Yep.
Oh.
Alright. Oh, Tails.
Yeah.
Where's his gun?
Nah.
Oh, Cliff Jumper. I have Bumblebee.
Now, I was actually gonna try and find my Sonic so I can show off Team Sonic.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't find him. He's somewhere, but I'm not too worried.
Okay.
Because if I do lose, if I completely lose him, here's the thing. Sonic's everywhere. I did find something fucking amazing though.
Oh. Hey! There he is! Nice!
Wow.
You found your Matorans! Nice!
I found them after so long!
Nice! Where were they?
They were in some sort of bin!
Wow. Nice. Now you could display them alongside Takua.
I can, yes!
Takua's got his chronicle. His company.
No, that's the B team.
Oh.
If anything, yeah, it would just be Maku.
Oh. Why the fuck did Maku get a toy, but everyone else didn't of the company?
Yeah. Okay. So the thing is, the Matoran that got a toy, they were like the right hand men of the Turaga.
Right.
Everyone, like the Chronicles company, they were the B team, like the second guys, like the left hands.
Yeah.
You're not the first choice. The only exception was Maku, because Kodu was the left hand of Nokama.
Right.
And I think they chose Maku because we didn't know really much about Kodu at the time. Because we did at least interact with Maku. Because you notice you interact with all the Chronicles company at some point before.
Yeah. All right.
So I am very happy.
Nice.
I'm going to ask you guys about something Sonic related.
Okay.
Have you guys saw the Sonic Curry?
Sonic Curry? No.
Yeah, they made a Sonic Curry. It was blue.
Huh. Is it good? Is it any good?
I don't know. I saw online one time. I was like, should I get it?
I don't know. Blue curry kind of seems weird.
Sus.
So, yeah.
Oh, here it is. Here's a picture.
Oh no. Oh no, I'm scared now. Yeah, I'm not eating that. I like Sonic. I'm not eating that though. I'm not that much of a die-hard Sonic fan, so no thank you.
And they did some pretty neat. They did a Disney gem to it too.
Okay. I don't care. I'm not eating Sonic curry. It doesn't look right. No, thank you. All right. Where was I with Godzilla? What was I saying?
It's sad.
It is sad. It's depressing. It's
Shirazawa just went. You're gonna fucking die. Goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys. So that way no one can ever use my weapon ever again. So,
ends up creating Destroy in one timeline.
Well, we didn't know. Sarasawa didn't exactly die knowing that Destroyer would happen, so I could talk about all the other Godzilla movies too, even Godzilla vs. Destroyer. That's also a sad movie, but kind of for different reasons. But yeah, this movie, not a very happy movie, pretty fucking depressing ending, and overall it's like its message is moral. It's just not happy. It's just, again, fucking you keep using nuclear bombs, we keep using nuclear. Eventually, something like Godzilla or something even worse, if we develop even more weapons like that, could just show up and just fucking come to wipe us out, bite us in the ass. It's a bad time. And now I was saying though, like it's very interesting I bring this up because it's very interesting how this compares to Shin Godzilla, because on the surface, Shin Godzilla is very much like the original Godzilla movie. Oh my gosh, comments. What's wrong with your PNG? Oh my gosh, I gotta fix this.
What happened?
No, your PNG is like floating. That's all. Don't worry. Let me fix this real quick. Wham.
I have ascended.
You've ascended. Oh no, you don't, comment. If I don't get to go up, neither do you.
Like that Simpsons special. Lisa was going to heaven, and Homer was like, "Oh no, you don't."
Oh no, you don't. But again, like I bring this up because it's very interesting compared to Shin Godzilla. On the surface, it's pretty much a remake of the original Godzilla 1954 movie. But when you really dig deep into it, it's a very different tone and message than 1954 Gojira.
Shengus. Do you know one of the inspirations behind Shin Godzilla?
I know it had to do with the earthquakes, right?
It is, yeah, it was the earthquake
and
the Fukushima,
and the tsunamis too. Yeah.
So, necessarily, this is not so much a story about nuclear, like the destruction of nuclear and the sins of war. From war, this is a story about how, in an event of a Godzilla attack, the government will not help you.
Oh, hey, my guy.
Truth.
But yeah, like I said, on the surface, this seems like a remake of the original Godzilla 1954 movie. Like, a lot of it's like plot, like, I guess like pacing, kind of hits beat to beat with the original 1954 Godzilla movie. You know, something to, at the end of the day, something involving nuclear does end up being involved with Godzilla coming on land and causing destruction. But it's when you dig into it, it's very different circumstances and very different message. Especially when it comes to this movie's view on nuclear compared to 1954 Gojira. Because again, Gojira was all about nuclear. Again, this is a very early mindset of how nuclear energy, at least weaponized nuclear. I probably should have mentioned this. I should probably specify nuclear weapons, nuclear energy that is weaponized, like atom bombs, H bombs, and the idea of continuing to make something even worse. The oxygen destroyer will end up being the downfall of mankind.
Why are these feet?
What?
I'm messing with Globe Jumper. So you have Bumblebee, so you probably know what I'm talking about. Yeah, what are these feet?
Yeah, no. But so it's very interesting when Shin Godzilla, it's not so much on like nuclear bombs, but it does commentate on nuclear energy. And it's very interesting how this movie's message kind of ends up boiling down to nuclear energy. Whether you view it as a good or bad thing, ultimately, it's here to stay.
Here to stay, and you need you need to wield it you need to wield it with a deft hand. Because the movie's not necessarily saying nuclear energy is bad. It's just people will often misuse it, thinking nothing of it, until eventually it just comes back and bites them in the ass.
Exactly. So you gotta be able to. I guess in a sense it's kind of like use nuclear energy responsibly. Otherwise, if you misuse it, then something like Godzilla could happen.
Remind me, is Shin Godzilla the one, the nasty one?
What do you mean?
Yes, it is.
Are you talking about the design? Yeah, Shin Godzilla is a very nasty looking Godzilla, but in a good way.
Shin Godzilla, the creature that lives in constant agony.
You know, like Godzilla turned to Metal Girl and Tetsuya.
Actually, I also want to commentate on the Godzilla designs also real quick on like 1954 and Shin Godzilla. Like 1954 Godzilla, it's a classic design. It's the basis for everything. You can't go wrong with that. And you know, and people have argued like over time, you know, we have improved upon it or we've, you know, downgraded from it. But either way, that's like the base design that we started with. And originally, when coming up with Godzilla's design, they were very much inspired, kind of like when, you know, dinosaurs. Like, it's very obvious Godzilla's, you know, very dinosaur inspired. He's this big bipedal monster like a T-Rex, at least how they viewed T-Rex back then, with like Stegosaurus dorsal plates it's on his back. But they also wanted, but also to like tie in with like the nuclear horror analogy. His skin, at least the texture and all that, is supposed to resemble that of like radiation burns and all that from, you know, exposure to the nuclear bombs. Like it's supposed to resemble like just this burned, charred, ugly monster that's just walking around. And Shin Godzilla manages to take that to the next level, essentially, where you very much see that, like, his skin looks like you know, like those like nuclear radiation burns and all that. But then you also see
Shin
like
Godzilla, much like Deadpool, just looks like a walking tumor.
Exactly. Like all of a sudden, like he's got like, you know, he's got like just red, like he's got like his red like gashes all over his body. He bleeds time to time. His teeth are all just like crooked. They don't even work.
He's the one Godzilla with malformed arms.
His arms are just pretty much vestigial.
Are they like T-Rex arms?
Kind of, in a sense. Like, have you seen how small his arms are compared to the rest of his body? Like,
let me look him up.
It's also very interesting when you think about, like, because the idea of Shin Godzilla is he is a creature that evolves over time. So it kind of makes you wonder what like when Godzilla, you know, first came on land and, you know, started becoming more and more bipedal, like what was you gotta wonder what exactly like was the mindset going on in a creature's mind like that to evolve arms that ultimately just become worthless in the end.
I think it's just because, like, with its second evolution, that's when it starts just going on land, and it starts walking around. But once it, you know, like, once it comes upright, and it has the chunky, meaty thighs.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Like, the arms really don't serve a purpose anymore, other than just you know, vestigial remnants. I figure, like, if Shin Godzilla had like a fourth evolution.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that, but like, I just imagine, like, I wonder if like his torso would have just grown something else to compensate for.
He does also have that just abnormally long tail. It's a really long tail. It helps does, you know, like create some really cool like imagery, like just this bipedal beast walking around. You just see the tail just, you know, moving side to side behind it. It's very cool.
And also to mention, like, his tail just has another mouth onto it.
Yeah.
Almost as if almost as if like his body could have formed either way.
He's just a abomination that shouldn't exist, but he does.
Is that like that scene from South Park?
Which one?
The one with PETA.
Oh, the ostrich baby. No! Kill me! Kill me! I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and it is right. I look at Shin Godzilla. Is this right in streaming backroom?
No, that's not. That's mostly fan-made stuff. Okay, so
there wasn't really a red one. Like the third form is what like Godzilla naturally looks like.
Well, no, actually, that's his fourth form.
The fourth form is what? Yeah, didn't I say that?
No, you said the third. Okay, I don't blame you though. It's so.
We technically don't see a fourth form. I mean, fifth form.
So.
I mean, we don't see the first form.
We see its tail. Well, okay, so based on like concept art, the first form is kind of like this like weird like tadpole creature with like a big tail. And then as it, starts becoming more and more, land dwelling, that's when it starts growing, legs and stuff, and then eventually becomes the Godzilla form that he's associated with. Also, like if this probably also maybe this is intentional. Probably is intentional, but like Shin Godzilla might also be very much inspired by like other monsters like Hedorah and Destroyer and the Godzilla franchise, who also have evolutionary forms.
Yeah, that's true. And also he's just largely inspired by just no, that's not right. Like he's also partly inspired by an angel. Yeah,
Mr. Ano.
Or an apostle for you weebs.
I mean, for like when you see Shin Godzilla, like for all intents and purposes, he pretty much just is an angel from Eva. It's very interesting, Shin Godzilla, like just as a monster alone, when you like examining it and like studying it. Also,
hold that thought, Chase.
Yeah.
Honest question is, I'm partway through Cliff Jumper. Is transforming him a pain for you? And by that I mean, whatever mold you have.
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't really transformed Bumblebee in like a while. Again, I think what doesn't help is because I swap Bumblebee's legs.
Yeah.
So that way I could give him ankle tilts, but he can't transform that way. So I remember when I first got him, he was kind of a hassle.
That's all I needed to hear.
So, yeah. I also kind of want to mention this. This also kind of applies to the 1954 Gojira movie as well. One of the main criticisms people had with Shin Godzilla was they felt there was no like real protagonist character to follow in this movie. There's, you're not gonna get Bryan Cranston or anything like that. I find it. No, you go ahead.
Well, the 54 film, I think, works in that favor because, even though we have, like, Ogata and, like, Kurosawa and all that stuff, like, we have a people more than we have a person.
Yeah.
Like, the whole population is just what collectively, is what we collectively follow. As this stuff just keeps getting worse for them. Godzilla is very much like the earliest form of a disaster movie.
Same thing applies with like Shin Godzilla. There's like people say, there's not really, a central protagonist. That's not really the point. It's really just it's mostly the government. It's mostly the Japanese government, but also just the people of Japan in general having to deal with this monster.
Also, there is a protagonist to Shin Godzilla. It's just like I think in general Shin Godzilla I think it because I like the human drama of Shin Godzilla mostly because it's just a giant joke. It's that the government will spend time setting up meetings while Armageddon happens in the background.
One of my favorite stuff about Shin Godzilla is like how they're in a meeting, and in order to deal with Godzilla, okay, we gotta go into another meeting room so now we can have a different meeting to deal with Godzilla. Also, one of my all-time favorite moments also from Godzilla is when the Japanese government they're like our expert biologists say there's no way Godzilla could come on land. Yeah, no, he's not gonna come on land. Don't worry. Okay, and the Prime Minister goes to reassure the people Godzilla will not come on land. And then some guy just comes up to the Prime Minister just whispers hey, Mr. Minister, and he's just he's on land, and it just goes to Godzilla. It's very funny how it's very interesting how you could make a scene so humorous when you just cut it immediately to a very horrific scenario going on. It's oh my gosh, Godzilla came on land? What? And just immediately cuts to just Godzilla, is second form rampaging through the streets.
You're gonna say something?
Yeah. I was looking down that. You're right, those arms are tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little tiny arms.
So it's kind of funny like that. It's hey, he's not gonna come on land. Oh gosh, he's on land.
He's on land, and the worst part isn't even he's just stomping around. He's probably not all there yet because his Godzilla in his far away eye and his 100 yards there. Yeah. And the worst thing is just the blood because it's seeping in everywhere.
Yeah. Also another thing also about Shin Godzilla, when it comes to political stuff, it's also very interesting how it's also. You alright, man?
I'm fucking hating Cliffjumper right now.
I'm sorry.
Hey guys, I gotta head to bed now.
You gotta head to bed? Okay.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Good night.
To be fair, Nick, to be fair, the instruction booklets that Hasbro gives you, they're fucking trash. They're trash, man. They suck. They're just absolutely terrible. You want to let me? Fuck it, Emgo, come here, Emgo.
I'm already going to Emgo.
Yeah. You might as well just go with Emgo. The instruction books are fucking garbage. Don't. It's honestly, why did they even offer them? They don't even work. You can't trust those suits.
It's not even the fucking instructions. It's just this fucking nothing's tabbing in right.
Ah.
I keep getting angry at Hasbro because they allow shit like this.
Well, yeah, the Japanese government, they're terrible. But as I was saying, also another really interesting thing when it comes to the political commentary of this movie is also the relationship of Japan has with not just America but also the world itself. Oh, no, go ahead.
I do want to mention it does feel like one thing that I do kind of find interesting about the entire like relationship with the world is like there's this growing sense of they don't want to call for help, because if we call for help, it shows that, you know, like we haven't learned anything in the past 90 years. You know, it's like we need someone else to constantly solve our problems for us. And the entire movie culminates to this idea of it, like in order to show that, you know, we better ourselves as a country, we need to resolve this problem ourselves. Because like we tried to get the US to drop bombs onto the creature.
That didn't work.
And that didn't work. Like we tried getting help from the international community, just be like, okay, we you know, like instead of just sitting here, let's get the international community to help us. They don't help as much. And so oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
And ultimately, the final decision just comes down solely to, instead of constantly trying to find a way out of this situation, let's just man up and face it head on.
Yeah. Because, Japan, the way to describe it is Japan since World War II is, it's a tributary state. It's just, they frequently, everyone comments how, like, no, this is just how it is post, you know, World War II. It's like, and, you know, people just go, it's been how long since World War II? Like, are we never gonna get past it? So it's very interesting how, you know, that sentiment is. Like, it's like, are we just gonna constantly just go, this is just how it is because, you know, World War II, like, World War II was, you know, so long ago. Why are we still doing this? And then, and also just, the idea, like, Japan just has to learn to, like, just deal with its own problems. Sort of just, it all comes down because, you know, the fucking America, and by default the rest of the world, like United Nations, they just decide, okay, fuck it, nukes again. It's and yeah, it's just Japan just really, they just need to, yeah, just fucking deal with their own problems. What's it? Let me see. Also, just, you okay?
I'm just not a fan of like how this
yeah,
how they fucking manage their fucking thing.
Yeah, it's not really that great. I know. What was it? I was gonna say something. What else was I gonna say? Was there? Oh yeah. Also, what's her name? I forgot her name. I just want to mention this. The Japanese woman who's like
half Japanese American.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of find her English funny.
Me too.
I think it's funny though, cause like, how do I describe it? Her accent when she speaks English, it's, at least when I hear it, it's almost there. Well, it's kind of a stereotypical like American sort of accent, but like, it's almost there. You know, just a little more practice, but then, you know, still like the overall pronunciation of her English is kind of, you know, obviously it's very clear English is not her first language. but it's still funny. It's like, oh yeah, let's do it. Yes, let's do it. I just always find it funny when they start speaking English in these movies. But yeah, but overall though, I just wanted to talk about these two movies because it's very interesting how they can be both similar, but at the same time, very different, and how even though Godzilla is still like this like antagonistic role, like what he kind of represents, and also like the overall like message has like evolved over time and changed. And I do kind of, and I did want to at least watch the original 1954 Godzilla again before I continue on with watching the other MonsterVerse movies. I have already seen in rewatch King of the Monsters, so I'll probably talk about that next week.
Without me.
I'm sorry. But
if you're doing MonsterVerse, you gotta get me for Skull Island.
I will. Don't worry, we'll watch Skull Island together.
Good.
Yeah, and also Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's really all I gotta say. I just find it very interesting how, over time, despite movies on the surface, these two movies on the surface being very similar, it's very clear how the like mentality behind these movies has evolved over time, even in Japan. So yeah, that's really all I gotta say. I need to use the restroom. I've been holding in my pee for quite a bit together now, so I need to use this. So I'm gonna take 5 again, and then when we come back, we'll be on our last topic. Ooh, I got actually. Just a quick reminder that I do have stream elements. You can tip, donate, etc., whatever you want to call it. You do not have to if you don't want to. Oh! Oh my gosh, we gotta shoot down the helicopter now? Are you shitting me? Oh my god! This is... Holy shit!
This is insane.
What the hell? Hold on. Should I push her or should I pull her back? Push her?
Yeah, you should push her. I mean, that kills her, but yeah.
What? 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 No!
But it's okay for him to just break my stuff.
Of course not.
Wow, Meredith, you're looking actually okay. You don't have brain cancer.
You gave me this for my birthday. I mean, you should be pissed off too.
Oh, never mind.
Wrong, but you don't just go punching every person who makes you mad.
That's the best fucking timing.
It's above you. I mean, that kid practically
Volker, make sure that your statements are not so embarrassingly carelessly worded next time. What? What? You're so disrespectful. Amazing. All delinquents types like this, even the way you dress so... Oh, flip-flop disregard for authority. Sweater fest, disgraceful... Delinquent? I'm on the student council! Motherfucker, I'm on the student council! You think that fucking... you think... Oh, look, what about you, huh? We got a fucking Hawaiian shirt. Oh, look at me. I got a fucking Hawaiian shirt. How professional. I got a big fucking katana carrying around, swinging around. Hi-ya! Hi-ya! You call that professional, motherfucker? You call yourself a businessman? Look at you, fucking dressed up all casual like that bitch-ass motherfucker. Get the fuck out of here. Why don't you get a fucking haircut? Shave that fucking beard of yours, you bitch-ass. Get some glasses for crying out loud. Oh, look at me. I'm Jagoro. I'm like a JoJo character. Hi-ya! Hi-ya! Yeah! A hand pounds on my back a hard couple times, severely winding me. I couldn't care less about the culprit as I focused my thoughts on my chest in near automatic reaction. My hand instinctively tightens on my breast, and I start going through the steps I rehearse in my mind every other day. Breathe. In and out. For a measure of relief, I could slowly feel my chest becoming less tense. By the time I look up, my face is covered in sweat from the experience. No! you see,
Man, that impression of Shia LaBeouf in college is fantastic.
Oh god, you know what? I gotta look up now real quick. His fucking freak out in Dark and the Moon. You know what I'm talking? You know when he's in the car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh, that guy's just. Look at this guy. He's just. All right, I'm back. Yay. Alright, I'm back. Also, real quick before we move on, I do also kind of want to mention real quick about Shin Godzilla. It's just real quick, talking about like tone and stuff. It's again, like how I was saying, like it's very similar on the surface. Shin Godzilla's much more happy, and like I guess not really happy, but like much more hopeful of a movie than the original Godzilla in 1954.
And then you see the last shot.
What? Okay, so I think
we'll get to it.
Real quick. So I think the last shot is more just. It's a very ambiguous ending. I think it's more just kind of dare to just tell, hey, this is how close we were to, an unimpending, just doom. We were pretty close. But we managed to succeed. Other than that, though, and also I think also just that ending is just there to like, kind of like reveal like this is what could have happened.
It's also just like it also just puts the idea that like there's no real solution to like the Earth, like there's no real solution to the Godzilla problem. Mm-hmm. All we can do is kind of impede him, and the core of the story will just be, it doesn't really matter like how long, how much time it takes. Rando and people like him will constantly try to find a solution that will mediate this problem.
Mm-hmm.
But because again, there is no solve all problem.
Mm-hmm.
I like Cliff Jumper again.
Like, man, that was quick.
Oh, hold on. You see why?
Hold on. Where's my mouse? Ha! I find it funny that Megatron's arm could just come off and could just get on Cliff Jumper. Bam!
I knew it. I knew I should agreed to have the. Well, hold on. I knew I should have agreed to have my figure be able to have the same functionality as the other figures.
I don't know why, but this just came to my mind. I don't know. Megatron on trial. Any last words, Megatron? I know in my heart.
Primus has forgiven me.
Is that a joke? No!
No. I'm actually kind of disappointed I can't put Cliff Jumper's arm on Megatron.
Ah. Yeah, that is kind of disappointing.
I just wish Megatron had this one stubby arm.
Don't stop! It'd be monstrous to stop now. Ah! Fuck you!
Fuck you, Optimus Prime!
I didn't know. Alright. Well, anyway, so, I think I've said all, like I said, I think I've said all I need to say about the Godzilla movies, and then next week I'll talk about, like, Kingdom Monsters. So, with that said, then we are down to our last topic of the night. Why is this man naked? Why does he have a donut only covering his wee?
Why is this man indecent?
What is wrong with this guy? Not.
There's a ton of things that is wrong with this man, but I will get into it. A part of me actually wanted, before we started this topic, I wanted you to go, but I wanted you to find the clip from Scary Movie 4 where Simon Rex is telling trying to tell his niece that her teacher's dead. Well, we would probably get flagged.
Alright.
Yeah, we would probably get flagged for showing.
More likely the audio would just get muted. But Twitch sometimes does that. But so what does that have to do with this movie?
Well, that's the last thing I seen Simon Rex on, because
wow.
Because this film is very interesting when it comes to his how the role is compared to his real life. Not completely, because I know that Simon Rex is a good person. So 2 Saturdays ago, I talked about Sean Baker's previous film.
Right.
The Florida Project.
Mm-hmm. So this is the film he did afterwards.
Yes, this is the film he did afterwards. Called Red Rocket.
It doesn't involve a scene where someone, most likely Stan Marsh, jerks off a dog. I am out here.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Nick, but no.
Come on, boy! Red Rocket! Red Rocket!
Red Rocket! Red Rocket! Oh. Wake up. So, Red Rocket, the synopsis is Mikey Davies has taken a bus from LA, LA, back to the Gulf Coast, Texas City, Texas.
Huh.
There's not much we can infer as to why he has came back to his hometown. We know that he's very bruised. He doesn't really have money to his name, and he was part of some things that unfortunately won't allow him to get normal employment.
Oh.
He comes back to crash with his estranged wife and her mother. They don't really welcome him, but he promises, hey, I'll try to get a job. I'll pay half the rent, and just let me stay here. Stay here till I can get back on my feet. Mikey, the way I would describe Mikey is, I don't know if you guys have ever seen a person like this. I don't know if you guys ever seen a person who is not very good at anything. But he can run his mouth.
Huh.
And there's a bit of a charm to like just how much he has said, whether or not it is bullshit. Because he's just really good at talking. That's Mikey. Like,
all right.
Mikey, you know, Mikey. His. What do you call it? Like, you sense that his better days have left him. He doesn't see it that way. And his only positive quality is just that he can run his mouth. Because Mikey, it's revealed very early on, Mikey was an adult film star.
Oh.
And he went away from his hometown with initially his wife.
Huh.
To star in adult films. And then you can guess from the bruising and the fact that he doesn't have any money. Yeah, it didn't end well for him. But Mikey doesn't believe that's the case. He just believes, no, this is a minor setback, so that he can just go back and reclaim his fame. And so Mikey just starts, he just starts trying to find a job. He can't get a job for obvious reasons. Yeah, because he's very famous for a different.
Yeah.
He eventually just goes back to his last job before he left, and that was selling the reefer.
Huh.
He starts selling the marijuana to people just to make enough for rent. Initially, it really does seem like Mikey is trying to go for a second, trying to go for a second shot, but it seems like he's patching things up with his wife and mother-in-law. And then eventually one day, while he was treating them to some donuts, that's when she came into his life. A 17-year-old girl called Rayleigh, though she prefers to be called Strawberry. That's when Mikey truly shows who he is. Red Rocket. Even with Mikey as a protagonist, it's not a very judgmental film. John Baker himself is not a very judgmental. He tries to not be a judgmental filmmaker. He does want to show. He does want to show that sex workers are not necessarily dirty. And dirty, unapproachable people, because Mikey, after a certain point he starts becoming suspicious. His estranged wife Lexi, she's just someone who really just wanted to live her life. along with her mother. You know, something happened over in California. She left, and she's just okay, just you know, having a quiet experience. And so. I said that Mikey himself, you know, he really the only good thing he could do is just talk someone's ear off. He gets into a friendship with he gets into a friendship with the neighbor, with their next door neighbor, Lonnie, who was was initially babysat by Lexi. Like he's someone he knew when he was very little. So it's like you know, he befriends Lonnie, and he befriends Strawberry, of course. Soon that becomes something more. Yeah, he starts to become an adulterer, more than his career. And this is when Mikey sort of just shows off his many different faces. Because one minute there'll be one, like how the film is edited is very much like how the Florida Project is edited, where split moments happen. You know, where it does a fast cut between like a moment where just like Mikey's just riding around town on his bike, and then it'll go to a scene where he's just sitting in front of the donut shop, the donut hole, and just talking with Strawberry, or just like selling weed to the construction workers. And then it'll show him with Lexi and Lil, and they're just like it seems like, oh, he's having like a quirky family life with them again. But then there's just scenes where he's with Lonnie and only Lonnie, where Sean will just start talking mad shit. He'll just start talking about his career in, you know, how his career was in California. It just, he starts bigging himself up about like, oh man, you know, I had, you know, I've had this many awards, have this many like subscribers on Pornhub. I have this many somethings. He starts talking shit about his wife with Lonnie. And so you do get this picture that like Mikey's very two-faced. And you get this sense that he didn't come back because he wanted a second chance. He came back because he was looking for a new excuse to go back to California. And Strawberry becomes that excuse for him, because it's a very skeezy relationship. But it's not so much a relationship that he's so much taking advantage of her, because she's a dumb kid, and he keeps telling her, oh yeah, you know, I was a good, like, you know, I was good at being a star and all that, and like just you know, speaking bullshit, his usual bullshit. And then like he tries to say, oh yeah, you know, you could be a very good like addition, you know, in my line of work. As it's like, yeah, there's like, you do get the sense of, yeah, Mikey's sort of a shit. He does get his ass handed to him very close towards the end.
Was I muted the whole fucking time?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know you were talking.
I said some funny stuff. Nobody laughed. Made me feel bad. But I gotta go to sleep.
All right. Have a good night.
You guys have a good night.
Have a good night.
Have a good night,
Night,
Master.
Yeah, like this film, even though it's very like, even though it's not very judgmental on like sex workers, it doesn't show sympathy towards Mikey. It's like Mikey, he's very opportunistic. He's very he will just use the goodwill of just people living their lives. Like, I think the interesting thing about about this film is just much like how Kissimmee is shot and viewed in the Florida Project. Texas City, Texas City is a rough looking place. It's not beautiful by any means. Like nearly all the shots, there's like smokestacks from companies and factories going on. Multiple throughout the entire movie, there's just like the characters are just watching TV, and it's in 2016. It's during the election. It never really gets pointed to, but it's just it's simply just something, people in the South are just like living their ordinary lives. Whereas like there's a shot where it's not in frame, but there's a clear billboard for a Trump campaign ad. And so it's like Sean Baker just captures how it feels like, how this actual town just feels like during the 2016. There's like, it's ugly, like Mikey pretty much wants to be anywhere but there, but like just where he's stuck at, because he doesn't have anything to his name anymore, and he still thinks, hey, I can still be top shit. I just need my next chance. I don't know if I mentioned this 2 Saturdays ago about the cinematography. I love Sean Baker's cinematography because he still shoots on film. And specifically, he shoots on Super 16. It's a very unorthodox sort of film, because it's when you blow it up onto onto the theater screen, or even just like through a laptop, it looks very grainy. It looks very it's very grainy and unorthodox, because Super 16 is used primarily for documentaries. So like Sean Baker kind of just shoots in all of Red Rocket as if it was a not so much a Hollywood film, but just like a rough film about the light, just because like everyone, like there will be like stars in his films like Simon Rex, and like last time he had Willem Dafoe. Like there'll be stars, but like the most of the times he would just get like he would literally just get nobodies that he found and just be like, hey, do you want to be in my movie? Because he just likes how they look, and he essentially just likes how natural they act. Like Lonnie was a waiter at a restaurant he was eating at, and he was like he really liked how Lonnie looked, and he liked like the way his voice sounded. He was just like, yeah, you want to be in this movie? Like there, like the daughter to the marijuana, to like the kingpin that he gets his marijuana from. She was like laid off. She was walking her dog when Sean Baker was like, hey, you want to be in my movie? Because he just liked her look. It's like a ton of this film just is just filled with like complete nobodies that like who feel believable because they're not told to just like, because like they're earnest, because they're not like trained actors who are told, hey, capture this sort of thing. It's just like, no, they just say how normally they would have said it in real life. This like he's a shithead. I don't know how many times I can say that. He's TV. I do want to talk about Simon Rex though, because it's really funny how much like because I don't know how much Red Rocket was sort of written before like Sean Baker asked Simon Rex to be in the movie. Because it almost feels like this entire film was just kind of written with him in mind. Because Simon Rex, I most know him just from the Scary Movie franchise. I seen him in Scary Movie 3 where he was in the 8 Mile parody, and like he puts up his hood and it looks like a Klan hood. Like a lot of that like parody, like he tried to become like a rapper. He was very like a lot of his like music videos are very comedic. All that it wasn't really like, he was trying to be a musician, but he wasn't trying to take it that seriously. He tried doing a lot of things. So when he just stopped being an actor, well, like when he took a break from acting, he took a break for like 17 years. The exact same as like whenever whenever like Mikey tries to go get a job, they're like, just like, oh hey, they're like, oh, why do you have a 17-year absence on your resume? And it's like, he had to explain to them that he was in the naughty movies. And so it's like, this more or less was just like Simon Rex coming back to acting. Phenomenal role though. It's like it's just interesting to think of like what.
Oh, not.
Yeah, I can hear you now. It's interesting to sort of think like oh my god, that one big movie like that you get for that you get like really shows you off when before you were just in like pretty generic stuff. And it's like, yeah, he was in Scary Movie 3, 4, and 5 apparently.
5.
That was a movie that existed. But no, he's really great in this. Also, funny enough, even before he was on like MTV and as an actor and all that, he was in porn. He wasn't in. He didn't do it.
Okay.
Like he wasn't like Mikey, whereas like he
wasn't the one doing it. Okay.
He wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't doing it. He was. Like it was just him, just him alone. He did mainly for money. And so it's like, yeah, it really is funny just how much like this character, outside of the fact that he is a skis bag, it's kind of just like Simon Rex.
Okay.
I
have to ask, so if he wasn't doing the deal, was he like was he like like I don't know, like some guy in the background or something?
No. It isn't like that. It's just him alone. He had his third leg with him. And he had a show. He just put on a show. Yeah, that's as much as I would just say. He put on a show.
Like photography?
No, it was video.
It was video.
Yeah.
So they would just film his third leg and then just call it a day.
Yeah.
Pornography was weird back then.
Yeah, people are weird.
People are weird.
It's like it much like the Florida Project. There's not really a plot to this, but the plot really is just Mikey and his dumb shenanigans. him trying to convince this girl to come with him back to California. I don't know why he wants to go back to California. Mikey's not pretty smart.
All right.
I do recommend it. I recommend it as much as I do the Florida Project because I like a lot of Sean Baker's work, where it is just like subtle comedy with people with like because Siren Rex really he's talking a lot and he's just very charismatic, which gets you to like Mikey at first, and
but then you realize, oh no, he's kind of a piece of shit.
Kind of a piece of shit. But he's still, he's still interesting to hear talk, because he could just talk a load of shit. And yeah, like I don't know what more to say about this film. Like go watch it. Look, it looks pretty. Like, I don't see a lot of films that are shot on Super 16 that are films. And it's like, I think the film just looks pretty looking, because whenever it turns dark and like there's lights, like there's it just looks brighter more, and it shows off more. There's a particular moment that I really like where Mikey and Strawberry are just talking to each other underneath the pier, where the tide is coming in, and it's at night, and just the light is reflecting off the water. It's like it's a beautiful looking film. And it's a great film. I do want to mention, like, towards the end of the film, he gets kicked out of his house. He gets kicked out of his wife's house, and he gets a strange, but Mikey sleeps in the buff. He sleeps some nude for some reason. He's a freak. And so he escapes through the window, and there's this entire moment where he's just running to like his weird weed dealer's house to try to get her to call off her muscle. He's completely naked. You see Dupper, and in the background, NSYNC's Bye 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 is playing.
What do you do to piss off the weed dealer?
He told his wife, "I'm going back to California. I never liked you. Bye." And then his wife, because she's good friends with like the weed dealer, just personally. And so she grabs her children, the weed dealer's children, who act as her muscle, and just tell them to rough up Mikey and kick him out of her house.
That's pretty funny. Alright. Third leg go elephant sounds? What are you saying, Chelsea?
Sure, Chelsea. Sure.
Yes, that's exactly what a third leg does. You guys dare. Alright. I guess I'll ask, out of the Sean Baker films you've seen so far, what would you say, I guess, like, what would you say is, like, your personal, like, I guess, favorite so far?
The Florida Project.
Florida Project?
I'm biased because it's like, I know what that area looks like. And it's like, you know, I can truly appreciate, like, all of its ugly beauty. So it's, and also just because, like, I like sort of Little Rascal shenanigans. Yeah, I think that's just really fun. You know, the concept of childhood in poverty. And like Willem Dafoe is just gives such a great performance in that movie. But yeah, like that's my favorite. Like, like Red Rocket's of course pretty good. Tangerine, the one he did before, the Florida Project is pretty good as well. Takeout is a good film as well. Yeah, he's got a ton of good ones under his belt.
All right. It makes babies, Chelsea? Yes, it does make babies.
Yes, it does.
Alright, well. Alright, well, in that case, well, that's it then. That's all our topics for tonight. So, yeah. Also, kind of unrelated, but you'll get this, Nick. I have Bumblebee in my hands. I transformed him while we were talking. Yeah, it's still there. Yeah, not there. Yeah. Oh, damn it, he's muted. Oh, you bastard! Ah, no, you can't even hear me complain anymore. We can't share our common struggle with converting a figure from a car to robot. Man. Oh well. Excuse me. Wow. That's me being tired. Alright. What was it? Tomorrow I might I'm gonna have to cancel Sonic Sunday. I am still behind on that project for class. So I need to do that. So, oh, now he's back.
Hey.
You alright?
Food.
Ah, okay. I was just saying.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah. Also, I don't know how much you heard before, but I transformed Bumblebee. So, yeah, I don't think he's yeah, he's okay.
I can't really recommend him.
It looks nice, so I guess just that.
Yeah.
You're sad, Chelsea? No, don't worry. I want to do Sonic Sunday too, but I do need to do this project. I'm behind, and so I need to do that. In fact, probably after this, I'm probably gonna have to get back to work. So there is that.
And I just got here and everything.
Well, you could show me a couple stuff, but then after that, I have to get back to work. There's always Sonic thoughts. Yeah, that's true. You want to tell you what? Maybe not Monday, because Monday is the final day the project's due. I gotta work on that. Maybe not Tuesday. Maybe like Wednesday. I could try coming home early again Wednesday, and I don't know. We could have a Sonic Wednesday, just for that one night.
Yay!
Yeah, and then you know, Sonic Sunday will still be a thing back next week. So yeah. All right. So with that said, then I'm gonna call it here, and yeah, have to get back to work. I don't like this project. All right. So with that said,
What is the project? I mean, you can tell me how.
I have to do something in Illustrator. It's not hard. It's just time consuming. Also, I don't know how to turn letters into 3D, so I have to literally teach myself how to do that, and that's gonna take a while. So, yay. Alright. So, with that said then, thank you everyone who came, and I will see you all next week. So until then, good night! You know how to do that, Chelsea? Aw. Oh, now I feel dumb.